Yeah, I mean, we've got some amazing names, obviously, on both sides. The MongolZ, obviously super dangerous.
Yeah.
And we've got, obviously, some really interesting maps, I think, that are going to work out well for both teams. And also, it's just so cool to still be casting a player like Fallen, in 2025. That, for me, is special just in of itself.
It is. I mean, he obviously still has his moments. He's also one of those players that, as a result, is obviously going to get criticized, more and more and more, because people are saying, like, well, is he as good as he was? Does the experience make up for it? Well, we're going to find out today just exactly where he is coming into the tournament here. Second best of 3 of the tournament that's going to be played. There's also a P-stream if you guys haven't checked it out. You definitely should, because there's a lot of great action happening over there. It's going to be FURIA starting on the CT side with the MongolZ on the T side, and already the bomb is being run down middle. They will not stop here. Senzu takes down Yakinda to begin with. Smolodoi peeking into it, actually shutting down Mimsinio. That's great information. They know so much about what's happening now.
And you see a reset there. Techno walking it back, as now they know, MongolZ, that there's an opening on this B site. So able to make that bomb. Oh,
wow.
Journey with the bomb. That's aggressive. That is a very decisive headshot from 910. And this puts FURIA in a pretty bad position. And given that there is this element of Senzu that could find a lurk, and there it is, there's more danger, but that danger is navigated. And Kazahstan with another. And all of a sudden, Anders, it's a 3v3 retake.
How did he manage to get the kill there, Kazahstan? I don't even really know, but they actually are in a little bit of trouble here. Techno's got a decoy. Is that going to be used for anything at all in this round? I kind of doubt it. 9-10 throws out a bit of a bullet there. It's a 1 versus 3. Now, Kamalova are a little bit low on health, actually very low now. MongolZ also taking some damage, but trying to hunt him down. And look at how shallow that position is from him. He couldn't have peeked it any more shallowly, but it does get the job done at the end of it. Defuse coming in, even without the kit. They are going to have just enough time for it here towards the end. So nice start for the Brazilian, or mostly Brazilian side. I must say, that was... I actually think the rotation to the A-bomb site there for FURIA made so much sense, because once MongolZ gets this kill, they saw 3 in the middle. They know it's going to be some sort of an A attack through connector, and it was going to be that. But then because MongolZ also realized that they were getting spotted, they diverted back into the B-bomb site. It's really great mid-round calling for both sides. And honestly, the MongolZ should have won this round.
Yo, MongolZ with the AWP, second round AWP, let's go.
I feel like that's so cursed.
I was about to say, I really hope it doesn't go wrong. Just really hope that that's not going to happen, but it could very well happen. MongolZ have a lot of guns online here, obviously. And the creep in the mid as they look to find a position to work from. Oh, there's one peek. Kazahstan, I don't think, is re-peeking that without a flash. Smoke coming in there from Cats. Over the top of the smoke! MongolZ finds that first target with the AWP, announces the presence. The AWP is on the server.
Yeah, nice kill for him to get. Was a scout on the other side, and he was already low on health, so it was at least an opportunity that something could have gone slightly wrong, but I think will kind of settle his nerves a bit. Smoke going up in Kazahstan, just have to worry about the high ground back there. Very slow beginning to this round. Mimsinio, he was angling for a deagle kill, but hasn't really found the opportunity to get anything done yet, so down under 50 seconds. Bomb being brought back. Looks like they could try for another B-type hit. Could be successful. Set up here for Fallen. I mean, all he really has to do is get a kill and stay alive for a second, and then Yakinda's already there, so they kind of see it coming. I think this double MP9 play should be enough to shut it down.
It certainly looks good. Patience here from Yakinda. Fallen there, the maze there's a tell. Fallen now working the MP9 around the side of the head. The Galil hits him hard. Yakinda now trying to dart around the side, trying to buy time for the teammates to come in, just holding this forward space. Another MP9 frag for him. Really doing a great job here for the team. And indeed, there's not enough space taken by the T's here. It's a 2v3 hold on the site.
Already in a better position than I expected here. Honestly, the MongolZ, the fact that they're even in the round yet is kind of impressive. Techno's getting a kill on Yuri on top and sneaking close. MongolZ misses the chance. Deagle comes out, and the MongolZ, they take it back in spite of the fact that it was so telegraphed. They knew what was coming. They had every chance there on the CT side to shut that down, and somehow it just doesn't matter. And something went wrong there between Fallen and Yakinda in the bomb site.
Yeah.
There should have been no chance for them to just run out that deep. Now, some of the utility use was pretty good for the T side, but still, there's definitely some sort of mismatch in what they were holding.
Yeah, it seemed like a sort of a makeshift setup in the sense that there is a big opening on Fallen.
Yeah.
And then already MongolZ the one to get taken down by that AWP. The irony there. Everyone pour one out for the second round AWP.
I can't explain it, but I do feel like it happens so often. You pick it up early and you lose it just as early, and it doesn't feel good. Creeping around, FMAS will be going down, and Yuri quick to follow. A little funny kill there on Zisensu, but unlikely to be determining the outcome of this one. Kazahstan and Fallen left.
One bit of info, Anders.
Go on.
That I think was interesting from the first round is we saw a smoke from Cap from FURIA to set MongolZ up. So very deliberately leaving kind of that diagonal kind of gap to the top right if you're from the ticket perspective for the AWP pick. So I'm curious if the MongolZ will recognize that that's what that smoke is designed to do. So if they see that gap in the future, that's probably part of the setup.
I mean, if they can get him kind of fired up at the beginning, that would make a sizable difference. We just now did see it between Woxic and Hyped, how much of a difference it made to have the AWPer come out on top. And obviously Hyped at the end of it was a crazy difference maker in that series just now.
Yeah. Fallen ever the role model, showing us all we need to stay hydrated.
It is a thing people say all the time. Stretch.
I'm gonna do it right now.
Yeah, you're in there early, Dan. I appreciate that. Well, don't think hydration will make the difference, but certainly would be a sad way to lose a game, wouldn't it? Like we lost due to pure dehydration.
Yeah.
Forgot to drink anything at all.
Yeah. Sensi might be in trouble here. Oh, very nice shots coming through though. The AK looks very smooth right there. Okay, MongolZ looking pretty scary. Looks like that one round that was claimed by the Brazilian squad seems so far away now. The confidence is huge from the MongolZ.
Which in itself is not the kind of thing you really want to give to a team like the MongolZ, because they are well known for being quite an aggressive team, and once they were up and running, this is also why they're fun to watch in general. So not too surprising, but there is another test coming up. FURIA back with some rifles, not the AWP this time. That was lost in the second round, but they do have some aggression. Oh, that smoke going down though for the T's makes it very hard to push through. Almost tells FURIA that, yeah, actually we are ready for some aggression. If you're going to try and do it, it could be a bit risky. Blitz. Just crouching down to avoid a little bit more damage. Otherwise, he would have been dead to Yakindar there. So 4 versus 5. And I think a really, really good read. You could see that smoke there in the middle is not something you see too often. Kind of a message to FURIA.
Yeah, just one smoke just totally dismantles the aggression in mid. Really, really efficient stuff. But retaking that connected position, Kazahstan finishing off the weekend blitz. But in the meantime, the rest of the MongolZ are looking to assault this site. It's just MongolZ here in position. He spots them. Can he delay long enough? Fallen is able to assist there from the cat side by the pillar. This time, can they make the defense happen? MongolZ now on his own, losing Fallen. And the site is won by the MongolZ.
Very deep smoke. Much too deep in many ways. Kazahstan will get the one, but Yuri is still without any teammates here. Bomb is getting picked up just as we speak here, and Techno's pushing in. Oh, that's a very awkward fight, and so is the jump! You hate to see it every single time.
Oh, no.
The scroll wheel absolutely betrays Yuri.
I know someone that can fix that. They can mod the mice and fix it.
Is that a real thing, Dan? I've kept the secret to yourself all this time, Dan.
Well, he actually works a lot of pros, like fixing up mice. But yeah, it's very sad. It's very sad to see. But fortunately, that wasn't a super high stakes moment necessarily. So 4-1 for MongolZ. And like you said, Anders, to see this level of confidence is quite worrisome. And FURIA, they're just putting more bodies throwing more bodies at the problem.
Yeah, I mean, I don't hate this. There's nobody there that they can find, but it kind of shows you that FURIA are trying to come up with something every round to get a bit of an edge. 5-7 in a dangerous position, to be honest. It's the kind of spot where you can get some really good headshots done, picked up by Yakinda in this particular round. So bomb being planted, round is already decided. How interesting.
So the objectives for FURIA. Get a kill or two, maybe steal an AK away. That would be pretty nice, but 9-10. It's been on one and continues to be on said one.
Sometimes, you know, just need a little bit more, you know? Speaking of somebody who needs more, Yuri's got 0 kills. And 4 deaths. Not even a lot to save here.
Why are we highlighting this right now, Anders? It seems cruel.
I'm trying to motivate him.
Okay.
That's all I'm trying to do.
All right, fair enough.
It's like a positive kind of bullying, you know?
All right. I'm not sure I understand, but I will take your word for it. I will take your word for it.
Yeah, the speed with which the Mongols are taking some of these kills. It's like it is sort of like a herd kind of thing where, like, once the opening is there, they just all have this instinct to say, let's go, you know, like we just know we can do it. So it's really fun. It's really sick to see. It's hard for FURIA to slow down too. Haven't been able to so far. It's another buy round though, coming in from the CT side. They have the AWP finally back on MongolZ, but in the middle, Kazahstan, as he was trying to throw the smoke, he did technically throw it. Fortunately, it did cost him his life.
Yeah, great find there. That timing where the window smoke's still up, fills that safety due to that util. Perfect opening there for the Mongols to abuse. Oh, Yakinda, gotta be careful. They know this position could very well be covered. MongolZ forces him away. And look at this mid-control for MongolZ. The bomb actually on chair at the moment, so might not be the easiest thing to make its way across the cat. It does seem like the Mongols have every option online at the moment, but this next fight, Yuri against Blitz, this could be that moment you were talking about, Anders. Get that kill, and then they'll all flood in.
Yeah. Blitz walks into him. Yuri will be stuck at the 1. He did get the first one on top of the smoke, which I thought was a bit sloppy perhaps for the Mongols not to be even checking that. Now, there is a player on ramp, but sadly, that's an MP9 on Fall, and that's not the kind of SMG you want at this range. You could see he had an M4. Maybe there's more of an opportunity. Bomb. Oh, hold on. That flick does change things a little bit. If they really wanted to go for it, there is at least a chance that they could. Yakinda is still in CT spawn. It's a low percentage round here, but on the other hand, they're falling quite far behind in this game, so do you want to take the risk that it is? It seems like they won't, as they're already kind of walking away from this here. Blitz taking a bit of damage, but yeah, I think they've already made the call, no question. So it'll be a 6th round for the Mongols. FURIA really having a hard time. It's great shots from MongolZ, trying to make it expensive, keep the AWP alive for himself, but I don't think the Mongols care about losing a couple of rifles here. They have such a disgusting amount of money that that's not really the main issue.
Totally agree, and just keeping the AWP alive here for FURIA is pretty important, because whilst they have full loss bonus, you know, that if you lose everything, you're not going to be able to replace the AWP very easily. But that said, Kazahstan is sitting on almost 7,000, so maybe that security was there. But they do keep the AWP alive, and MongolZ has been able to hit shots. The issue is not, you know, your AWP missing shots. It's the fact that the Mongols are getting really solid openings off of their mid control, and that's been reliable.
Yeah, the issue is not that the AWP isn't hitting shots. The issue is that nobody else is on FURIA.
Fair enough. There we go again. This is it's got that positive bullying.
Listen,
that's gonna be the name of your next book.
It's a strong sell, I think. I think I can get a lot of people on board with this.
There are a lot of people that like bullying.
That is true.
So you can kind of like leverage that.
As you know, many people's favorite activity of many people, in fact. You just got to find the right target, you know, so you're ethically justified. And that's the. Listen,
like the jurisprudence of bullying. We'll get that in one of the chapters.
It worked on Yuri. He's got 1 kill now, Dan.
Good job. Good job.
It worked immediately. Smoke up in the window. Yakinda looking to set up a bit of a deep incendiary, but again, nobody's really there to receive. Not that it's not worth it, but right now the Mongols leaning towards the other side of the map. could just be a straight-up B hit to try and see if they can test MongolZ or maybe Fallen, who I think has already missed a couple of important frags in the game so far. Yeah, but again, the AWP allows for more of a heavy lean towards the A side. So FURIA, they are actually in a decent position here.
Steps made. What's cool here is that the MongolZ have certainly slowed their pace quite a bit. FURIA, there's a world where they would have gone in aggressive and gotten caught had they run into this opening from the MongolZ. Also, FURIA in a position where they could easily waste util if they read the old pace. But doing a good job here, FURIA, not overusing util. There's the HE, spurts of smoke, get some info. Not very much to see though. 45 seconds left, and the MongolZ are going to be forced now to make a call. And it looks like they're leaning the right way here, Anders.
Yeah. Oh, he spots that. He sees the leg as well. He knows that Yakinda is in there. 35 seconds. It will be the B bomb site. It will be MongolZ that's going to be tested. It's pretty much all up to him right now. If you get a couple of kills right now, the backup is going to be there, and it's already rotating in. I think Yakinda is already pretty quickly on his way, but Techno, he doesn't die. I don't know where the bullet went. It looked like he was on him. MongolZ gets dropped instead. Down to 18 seconds. Fight one in the middle, and Yakinda is here trying to stop the bomb, and he's going to be successful. Somehow nobody checked it. 10 seconds, but they have time. They pick up the bomb once again. And Yuri and Fallen, they're way too far away to even have any impact. They're up in the palace, Dan, with the little pillows, just living their best life, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Soldiers are dead on the other side of the map.
Dude, those textiles, that is top-tier stuff.
You a pillow kind of guy?
I mean, Anders, if you find the right pillow,
yeah,
you would also be a pillow guy.
Listen, this is too much for me, though. Like, this is at a point where you've got more pillows than couch, which means you're like fighting the pillows to try and be comfortable.
I mean,
but
pillows are multi-purpose, Anders.
They're on the ground, Dan. That's when you know you've got too many. They actually can't fit there.
You got some for your feet. You know, there's so much. Clearly, you're an amateur in the use of pillows. That's all I can determine from this conversation.
You have been living in the US too long because you've got pillows for your feet. So that's how that's officially the sign.
Dude, I'm telling you, long flight. Get the pillows under your feet. And it feels so nice. You can close your eyes, pretend you're not on this like filthy confined space. Like, you know.
I'm more of a, you know, making fists with my toes kind of guy.
Okay.
Myself. I took that advice from my heart like it was the truth, like it was scientific truth. I've lived my whole life doing that, just because that one scene. 7-1. MongolZ in a power position here, but Kazahstan, what you'd like to see. It's a really nice move to try and get some momentum back, try and allow for FURIA to have a sense that they can actually fight anything here, but he will get traded, obviously. So 4-on-4, still worth it for the MongolZ. They're satisfied with that kind of a trade.
Yeah, MongolZ is still looking for action here, potentially. Those smokes on Cat still up. And I like this aggression, though, from FURIA. Not allowing MongolZ to have space for free. Really making them fight for it. MongolZ now trying to get themselves up into the window. Blitz here. This is a huge fight. And my God, the find through the smoke from 910's going to clear the path into the window and through jungle. Blitz goes because taken down by Yakinda. So 50 seconds left. And Yuri now in an interesting position because Mzinho has made his way past.
He's not even checking it. Okay, there we go. Took a minute. Mzinho, it's only his third kill. We haven't really seen too much out of him, but obviously he's an absolutely crazy player. 30 seconds now. The bomb is in connector and it's lost in here. Mzinho crouches in and takes down Yakinda. If he wins the fight there, FURIA have a real shot at taking the round, but now it's Fallen. 1 versus 2 here. 20 seconds, and they're going to try and smoke him off. It's such a good play. Sensu's got a Molotov as well. They can try and keep him away from this. Down to 15 seconds as they do make the cross. The bomb has made its way over. It's such an awkward timing. Sensu, how are you not ready for that? That was your only job. He doesn't plant it. He comes back out to fight him instead. What a crazy move from this young player. 4 kills for Mzinho in the round. There's no way that Fallen saw that coming. Of course he's going to be planting the bomb.
That's a gift. That was the initial kill for Fallen was a gift, and then the coming off the ball, it did seem like it kind of just blew Fallen's mind that was a possibility in that moment. I think he's already going through the motions there, Anders. He wants to get that Molotov out.
I mean, that's a... Whoa. That laughing.
So sick.
That's kind of an all or nothing play as well from Messinio, because the fact is, if he doesn't get the kill there, then he probably loses to the Molotov anyway.
Good early find though from Cat for Yekindar. Early 5 versus 1. You can't say that's happened too often. In fact, also this 5v3 advantage here for FURIA. Now they just have to hold the advantage. They don't have to take any risks at this point. They've already got a huge advantage on the numbers. And we're getting a walkthrough on Palace as well in the midst of all of this. No! Finds the head of Yekindar. And that's now a 3v4 for MongolZ.
Push in Yuri. It's real early on here. Sensor did kind of look like he was thinking about it, but obviously he's got another mission in mind, which is to get the bomb into the hallways here. Fallen. I don't like that at all.
Ooh, yeah, he made noise. I don't think he wanted to do that.
What?
A miss.
Okay, I think it's fine. Yuri's position here, giving them the kill, kind of leaving not a lot of options. Molodoi missing another shot. I really don't even know where the bullets are going, because there's not a lot of time. There's not a lot else that he could hit but a player there. Techno does go down. But the bomb's going to be planted if nothing else, right? Senzu. Okay, fakes it the once. Just testing out the waters here. FURIA, they can't really afford to screw up this round, obviously. And with Senzu already getting dropped a bit low, I think they're going to be okay with it. It's Fallen, taking a bullet even lower now. Senzu, oh my god! There was a chance that they lined up there. He actually had a legitimate shot at winning that one.
That round was wild. Just all these opportunities happening from some of those missed shots. Molodoi not only coming back into the angle, again, 5v3. Let's remember, 5v3, you kind of don't have to do too much as the CT's in that position, but we had a lot of movement from FURIA despite that advantage, and it created some openings on top of those missed shots. A missed jump out of the window, and it's absolutely wild stuff. 8-2 is still the reality, though. So despite the madness, the Mongols still decisively ahead.
Yeah, maybe worth also just highlighting this idea that for FURIA, winning a round like this one, but it going from, basically a 1-on-4 or 1-on-3 into the 1v1, it's just hard to celebrate if you're on the CT side, right? It's like, we could have had some money, we could have more to work with, but still, everything is a struggle. We have to battle our way through every single round. Best they can do is 8-4.
One thing I'll say, though, as a positive for FURIA is, I mean, they got 2 opening picks that last round, and, that's not been something they've been able to do too consistently, and those picks are coming in mid, which has been the base of the MongolZ domination, has been off of those mid-control plays early in the round, so the fact that FURIA don't have to just give it up is honestly a positive sign. Still looking to mid for some early value, the CTs of FURIA. And look at Molodoi go, finds the timing. Oh my goodness, another whiff there. That looked like it should have been on, but devastating.
Again, he's also hit some great shots, but I feel like every once in a while you see this kind of thing and it really feels like he is kind of on target. But obviously he's not connecting with those bullets. It's not even leg shots we're talking about. I really don't know how it's happening quite. Jump up, unfortunate timing there. And Senzu wanted to do too much. Wanted to try and spray them both down, as the result got none of them. Bomb is here, though. And with 9-10 on this AWP, you never really know. Awkward timing. Kazahstan, just good lineup there. He's got 4 kills in this round. All right.
The mid-battle is indeed swinging in the favor of FURIA now. They've gotten reliably now openings, despite Molodoi losing that fight and going down with the AWP. He still had, I believe, Yekindar out there from Cat, able to pick up a kill right away. Here it is, off of the jump to bench. Kazahstan offering covering fire as well. So the dynamics between the mid plays has been great for FURIA. So it is a sign of life towards the end of this first half as we go into the final round.
Even if they don't get this round, MongolZ, it's obviously still a fantastic first half. You're going to be so satisfied with this kind of a setup here. Blitz getting the spot. I think he also did get spotted himself. Oh, Fallen. They're going to put some pressure on here. Yekindar is there to help out, but Fallen being tested, and he has not come out on top in these B fights. That's been a real weakness, and I think the MongolZ knew that from the start, because they kind of came into this game looking like they wanted to test Fallen in this particular setup. Nice little timing for Kazahstan. He knew that Messinio wasn't hitting the shots there, and now it's a 2 versus 3. Early Molotov going down to try and slow it. The bomb is planted and ticking away. And there is a kit on MongolZ trying to get in here, but he's actually going to die almost immediately. So now the kit is lost for the minute. They need to pick that up and go for this one. Yuri and Kazahstan, they have the health advantage and the sneak in as well. Nobody saw that coming. Senzu gets one in return, and now he's ready. Yuri, he's out of time. He has to still pick up the kit. There's one on the ground there, but it doesn't matter. Senzu finds the headshot, and it's another round for the MongolZ.
Yeah, great switch up. You know, it was going to be coming at some point if you're starting to get all that value in mid. Really nice adjustment coming on through from the MongolZ. Still, though, you know, FURIA making it a really close round, which I think is so encouraging. If you're against the MongolZ, they have been having a lot of these dominating rounds. You're still in it. We're still seeing the confidence there. We're still seeing the plays be made. Despite some whiffs here and there, I don't think that's indicative of a loss of confidence for any individual on a team. They're still making the plays that they should make. We're not seeing any tactical errors necessarily. So both teams still locked in, despite the fact that it's a 9-3 advantage for the MongolZ. If we get a pistol, I could absolutely see FURIA making a run.
I would love to see a bit of a comeback here. But the game plan coming into it for the MongolZ, I think, was really smart. And again, we were talking about, you know, bullying in the first half. Then, you know, fun topic. But honestly, if you feel like there's a weak player in the bomb side, you should bully them as the aggressors. And I do think that they had singled out Fallen a little bit and said, you know what, he might not be ready if we're going to come fight him. And I feel like there were a couple of rounds there where that was definitely true. And he had Yakinna with him as well. And there was something about that defense that wasn't working as well as it should have been.
Well, as we go into the pistol, salvation could be at hand here for the Brazilian squad. FURIA with heavy mid opening. Oh my god, Blitz has no idea what's going on. He's just taking one straight to the face.
Glock bullets ringing through the smoke, pretty scary stuff. They're going to try and crunch this B bomb site. No reason to slow this down now. Senzu, one good kill. The duelie's not finding any luck at all. It's a lot of bullets and no kills happening for Techno. Ends up going down. The bomb being planted here, FURIA. It's a really, really solid round so far. Emcinio trying to hunt him down. Oh my god, the speed is a lot to deal with. And he's actually got a chance here. They're low on health. They've got to be really careful now. They have to play for time and try and stay out of the range of the duelies. Kazahstan will take him down, but secretly that could have been scary.
The duelies are actually insane. I feel like, I mean, Get-Right was so far ahead of his time, Anders.
I know.
If only he had these duelies back in the early Go days.
That's a good point. Like, he almost too far away to even get credit for it. But yeah, he's like the original person to pick him up. It's kind of ridiculous.
He had the Swedish colors, the blue and yellow as well on the duelies. You know, really repping it. But hey, it is indeed going to be the pistol for FURIA. They just have to convert now in this following round, and they might get back on track here.
It's admittedly kind of a long way back. Curious to see MongolZ buy into this round. I feel like especially with MP9s on a map like this one, maybe it will work. Maybe the sheer sort of surprise of it is what's going to ultimately pay off. They are really stacked over here. On a map like Inferno, I would probably say, yeah, that's probably fine, you know, on the CT side. This one, I do feel like it's a bit harder to get them actually working, but Fallen crouching on through. Senzu, timing pretty good. He's going to get the kill onto Yuri as well, and that's a lot more than I was expecting. My god.
Yeah, really perfect range for the MP9. MongolZ on the way through. Senzu. It's a ton of the worst spot, and I think we get the jump bug, mouse wheel bug again, potentially there. I don't think that was intentional.
It's not what you want to see. The recovery in this round has gone really well. Long fight coming in. 3 bullets left as well for 9-10. He's going to find it while Blitz gets the headshot on MongolZ. With the bomb down now, 35 seconds here. Kazahstan, what do you do? Smoke up once again, and he has to sort of turn the corner to pick up the bomb. It's not like he can even just go into the smoke here and get it. It's really, really awkward for him. He's got the massive health advantage, but look at how deep that bomb is. And Blitz is now holding it. He's got the AK picked up as well. 18 seconds on the clock. This could be the beginning of the end for FURIA. If they lose this round this early on to 4 MP9s, I don't know if there's any... He can't even get to the site anymore. He can't actually do it. Oh, there's just not enough time. Yeah, this is so smart. If they'd fought him, they would have given him the opportunity, but the fact that they don't fight him means there's nothing he could do. Oh yeah, try and find him at the end here. The round is already over, but you should. I love the fact that they try and do that.
I love that there's a pop flash.
Yeah.
So sick. I was wondering how they would play it, Anders, because it's such an easy spot to maybe not play super optimally, but they nailed it.
Yeah.
They really did. That was really cool to see. MongolZ are definitely an impressive team.
Woo. Yeah, getting away with a lot here. They almost recovered. It was so close, but it wasn't enough. 3 bullets for the fight against Jekandar. Misery continues for FURIA. They got a Galil, an AK, pistols on the rest. The MongolZ getting, even losing the pistol, they just roll on like nothing happened.
Yeah. And FURIA make their way through the underpass, and this mid control is going to be annoying to deal with. 9-10 should be in position to deal with this. Oh, there's, I think, the spot. Surely that was spotted. There we go. 9-10 players peeking up on mid. Great setup. You've got every single angle covered. It's essentially a bait, but still Kazahstan picks up 2. Upgrade with the AK. 2 versus 3. Absolutely doable here.
Yeah, but I think with patience, Jekandar not hitting that shot.
The chance.
It's not easy, but these are the kind of shots you really need to hit. There we go. All right, he gets the possibly more difficult one with Messinio actually kind of looking for him as well. 50 seconds. Nobody at all for the CTs on that A side of the map, but Technos moved all this way up for the B hallways, so let's see if he could get the timing down right. Kazahstan's ready and waiting. Gets one, ready to pick up the next, but not quite doable. Jekandar now at range. Bit of a battle here. Can he get the Deagle shot off with 30 seconds? No. It'll be Senzu instead. 4 kills on him, bringing them a little bit closer to a victory.
We are seeing these flashes of brilliance from FURIA, but it just seems like they just can't quite get it going, unfortunately. Again, you know, the MongolZ is a very oppressive team to be up against, and so that makes a lot of sense. But this first map, I mean, if with the Anubis coming up next, it's definitely a lot of pressure on FURIA to find a way to convert here, and they're going to be buying up for the rest of this now. They're so far behind. Full buy comes in at least as much as they can get, and it's just the AK on Jekandar. Oh my god, how does that even work?
Just so crisp on there. 9-10, a little bit of panic once again, but he's got backup with him there. Yuri, that's not bad at all. Doubt it will change the round, but you've got to give it your all at this stage. You look at Kazahstan and MongolZ's kills, you think there's no way this is an 11-4 type of game. I mean, they've got more kills than that. Unfortunately, it just hasn't made a big difference here. MongolZ looking to take 12. Yuri, 1 versus 4 is just not going to happen. Senzu will take him down. And the MongolZ just, it's such a powerful start. But this is how I want to see them play. And I've seen a couple of games from them lately where it hasn't felt this way, where there's been some mistakes. There's been a real lack of confidence. They've never kind of got the ball rolling on their game. Whereas, yeah, oppressive is the right word, Dan.
They are the oppressors. And FURIA, I mean, they'll at least get some more weapons on board now. I mean, well, actually, it's still just the 1 AK. A lack of utility. It's going to have to be the brute force, but speaking of brute force, the MongolZ turning up once again in mid. Jekandar is flashed, everybody's flashed, but Senzu seems to find the kill over the top. And it is, once again, decimation for FURIA. That's all there is in mid.
Oh, can't even talk about it. It's happening too soon. They're dying before we can even introduce the round. Just the speed here for the MongolZ. Even on the CT side, they will not let FURIA breathe. Kazahstan alone to try and get 4 Deagle headshots. He's got 1. And 3 bullets here. No one's really peeking him just yet. There we go. They just want to fight him. They don't even have to, but they're doing it anyway. Techno to take him down. And the MongolZ just crushing FURIA here in the opening map. That is a one-sided game. Even if some of the FURIA members, they try to do what they can, it just was not enough.
They look so relaxed, Anders, and it's time to see how relaxed the deaths look after that very quick effect.
Again, second map is coming up. It will be on Anubis between FURIA and the MongolZ. It was a very one-sided game to begin with on Mirage, but to be honest, this is also the map pick of FURIA here. So let's see if they have something more. I hope they will, Dan, because there were some positives for FURIA.
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, it just outclassed ultimately, of course, but definitely some bright spots. I think both, you know, tactically, strategically, team play wise, individually, we saw moments from everyone. You know, MongolZ had a good start and it kind of just tapered off. But we'll see exactly what MongolZ are able to do on the T side as well of Anubis. Obviously, not a fun time to play the CT side.
They're gonna fake A and go B from the setup here, is what it looks like. Oh, they're waiting in middle. Okay, could just be a bit of a default, but with 3 people outside the A-bomb side and the bomb leading that far towards the middle, it just absolutely looked like it was going to be a bit of a fake. It might just be a more of a default type setup, and Senzu does go down. Messinio was hoping to spot somebody there. It's a P250 at range, and now the bomb is being brought back towards the middle.
And I think you were totally right, but the fact that they lost a player there, it kind of put a wrench into the plans of the MongolZ. No need for the CTs to push anything now. And so MongolZ taking matters into their own hands there. The 2-player push, and those dualies are so brutal. We'll see if there's a trade to be had here. A reset on the fight, and the dualies come out on top. Techno gets nothing, and, well, FURIA get the best possible start.
But Dan, I know you love, going down to the nitty-gritty of the aim stuff. In that second fight for MongolZ, he's like taking a deep breath, and then he goes for the like really wide swing. Like that, I just love the detail in that.
I'll have to look at it again.
It's like,
so there's a wide swing.
So deep in that angle.
Yeah. I like, especially with the dualies, it's nice because obviously, you can kind of have a fast recovery time on them and so on. And going really deep, if you're up against like a Glock or especially USP, where the recovery is not as good. Yeah. You kind of force them to waste a couple of shots, and so you get that advantage. That is always nice when you see that kind of a swing. And now it's just going to be Glocks for MongolZ. And again, I love the full save. Honestly, get the pressure on the CTs immediately with those AKs out a lot faster.
Single flash on Techno. Just might as well. Especially if you could somehow land an opening deagle shot. Imagine that. You get a deagle shot and the flash in the sight and you're just kind of ready to go. It's not going to happen, though. Flash does go over, but it's really high in the sky. And I think there was part of the building there that was kind of blocking everything. So far, so good. FURIA. They did lose the second round after winning the pistol. So you just pin him to the wall.
Oh, man. I feel like MongolZ can't catch a break. For some reason, he just catches a bullet in the head as he's jumping through the angle with his player who's on the other end knowing nothing about that. I feel like it's really just, again, fate. I believe in fate selectively.
I think that's it's a kind of moral system that's hard to convince other people of, Dan, but for you, if it works for you, I'm happy for you,
We've all had those games where it's like we feel like we are somehow getting singled out by the universe.
That's definitely true. Both for good and bad,
True.
Well, let's see if the MongolZ can get back on track as quick as they did on Mirage, because it was kind of scary. Lovely push coming down from Yakandar, pushing in front, and they've got MongolZ behind him. Yakandar really has to trust that his sniper there is going to be able to help him out otherwise, because he knows he's going to get repeat. He knows it's going to be more of a fight. I love it from Blitz. Ready for this one, but they didn't quite get the kill. So 5 versus 3, even if Yakandar and Fallen are a bit low on health here, it's some great CT aggression, which on this map can be very hard. Probably the hardest map in the pool right now to actually try and get something done on the CT side.
Yeah, I totally agree. And it puts MongolZ in this position, moving as a duo up in mid, Techno with 9-10, looking for an opening. And of course, they can kind of go anywhere here. They can get this kill, which they do.
I don't like this.
Unlock both sides of the map. And right now, FURIA don't know which way they're going with the bomb.
FURIA stacked so hard towards the A side that MongolZ is alone here with the AWP. That smoke is not going to hold anyone back. Blitz is going to come through that every single time because there's no reason not to. Oh, MongolZ, I still don't know where the bullets are going. I feel like this happens so much on the opening map. Even if he played well, and he really did, there were so many shots like this where it just feels like he has the chance, he could do it. This is very awkward. This is a super losable round right now for FURIA. Technically, a 4 versus 3 or 3 versus 5 to begin with, but some of them already low on health here. Fallen, he should have been gone right then and there, but somehow gets the burst off on Blitz and takes him down. Flank coming in at Techno shot in the back. It's just 9-10 here. Crouched in with the AK, and they are everywhere around him. He picks up the first one. Yakandar, I think, smartly not peeking immediately. Super clever for Yakandar not to go for that fight right away. But this is a round that, honestly, FURIA, they should be quite happy that they even get out of alive.
Yeah, yes. Again, we kind of go back to this theme so far today where when you get a big advantage on the CTs on the numbers, you kind of don't need to do too much. But if you do end up gambling on a site, like we saw there, you can get into a tricky spot. And that round was so winnable for the MongolZ. And, well, moving forward, I hope that we do get, as you were mentioning, some more CT aggressions out of FURIA. I think when you're playing against a top a top tier 1 level team, you cannot just let them execute their default. You've got to try to play disruptively.
I wonder if production could find the shot that MongolZ missed there, because I feel like there was like, he does this weird shake right as he shoots that kind of, I don't know if that's what's messing him up, but it'd be really fun to see like a really slow replay of some of those shots, because there's something weird going on there. Again, like he played really well. I'm not trying to like wreck him too much.
Activity detected.
Yeah, get the Ghostbusters on track. Get him out there.
Hero AK on 910. Some pistols for the swarm to get 910 into that spot to maybe get a trade.
Honestly, this is super dangerous for the B-bomb side. Having 2 people here is already... It can be very hard to deal with. There are so many rounds that are lost here due to this double setup. Yakenda pushing forward. Oh, it's kind of awkward. He's going to get traded. It's a very nice shot coming back with the Deagle, and Senzu pins Yuri to the wall once again, and that's it. The bomb's going to be planted here. Throwing over some of the weapons. Spreading the wealth, as it were. A little bit of socialism on the Mongol side.
There we go.
Fallen creeping on in. M4 in hand. Blitz. He's got the right idea, but it's a very vicious return coming in from 9-10.
Yes.
Kazahstan and MongolZ walking away.
And it's one of those interesting spots too, where MongolZ had like just like the perfect setup where they were kind of ready to go, and the fact that FURIA were getting aggressive against the pistols, and they had to make it safe, so they used 2 players at E-Box. It creates this world where even if both of those players on the MongolZ side die, well, the rest of MongolZ, the 3 other players, are always going to be rushing off of that, and now you got 2 CTs stuck E-Box. So it's still like a dangerous situation. So it's an unfortunate opener to select for FURIA on that side of the map, and this is why actually what we see in a lot of different maps, like I'll use Train as the example. On Train, you know, a lot of CT sides they'll just play really far back and allow a T side to get an inner plant on the B site and then play retake, because it's way less dangerous than trying to play up close as you normally would.
I mean, definitely the danger is kind of illustrated for us right there. I feel like on the B-bomb side of this map, it's hard to play, you know, that far back, just because retaking can be so risky. But yeah, there aren't a lot of good solutions, I think, is the answer on this map, unfortunately. Unless you can go aggressive on the CT side and start with an advantage, but just playing it straight up like this 5v5, it can be real tough. We still haven't seen, apart from that one round where they tried to split mid in the 3-on-5, which they almost won. Yeah. We haven't seen the real mid splits either, but they are so popular right now. So wouldn't be surprised if we're going to see a lot more of that coming out.
Well, there's a double Molotov that will clear some space for mid-action here for the MongolZ. And in terms of utility, there's no smokes left for FURIA, and we've got a minute to go. So ideal spot here, might be an opportunity, looking for the shot, potentially through the door. 910's looking for it, Fallen dodging between the wood, will find his maker. And look at that B site getting cracked open yet again, Anders. Like you're talking about, it's so hard to hold this.
Yeah, and this time Yuri was alone. The flashbang is just so devastating. Oh my god, some of these kills from the MongolZ are ice cold. 9-10 in the middle, fighting Fallen like that. You can almost tell in the way that he moved, even as he lost his rifler in Blitz. So he's alone in there. If he misses a shot, he's probably going to die, but there was no fear at all. He's like, doesn't matter, I'm going to win this fight anyway. And then the double push, again, it was the same thing basically as the previous round. They had one coming in from the main entrance of B, one from that connector or E-box position, and there's just nothing that he could have done over there, unfortunately. MongolZ to save the AWP, and they are out for the hunt, and they should be. Why not? They don't have a ton of money, but then again, neither do FURIA. So MongolZ know taking away this orb is everything, and they should be able to. They're so close by here. It's Messinio to take him down.
Yeah, it's looking real good here for the MongolZ. Really have a good beat on this one. And the kills, as you say, looking really clean. I like the peak that we saw from Senzu as well, where he just straight out. He's pre-aimed, and it's just about click timing. He doesn't even move his crosshair. Yeah. It's click timing. Probably see it here in a second. Beautiful shots. Here it is. So he doesn't even move his crosshair, just pre-aim, click timing.
And the fact that Yakenda is spraying like that also suggests he probably is flashed. So you're so sure that like he probably can't see it. That sounds like panic, you know? Can smell the fear on the other side.
Yeah.
mid setup here for FURIA as they are reduced to pistols. Just stay grouped up, and I think the Mongols are going to be absolutely fine with it.
Double molly has to be respected. CTs vacate the position. Stacking the A site, going for a push A long as well. So they will eventually find some Ts, but the bomb might be planted in the meantime, so we'll see if they can get anything. But they've got 5 USPs, Anders, so the kill potential kind of sucks.
Yeah, we're just so happy if you just get even a single rifle to carry on to the next round, which actually could go a really long way. So still, you've got to remember that this is a pretty T-sided map. So the fact that the scoreline is about to be 3-3, it's actually not that bad for FURIA. I wouldn't really get worried just yet. They just need another couple of rounds here, and I think they're going to be absolutely fine. Blitz. All right, aggressive. Trying to get something done. Very curious how much FURIA in the next couple of rounds are going to want to fight for the front of A part of it. Like that front of A pocket that exists there is so important for the CTs to hold as long as you can, because just like on Banana or on Inferno, it's like once you lose that part of it, you really have way less information to play around with, and it probably means you have to draw people closer to the A bomb site. But as long as you're there, you can, you could probably play almost one person towards A and then have more of a stack towards mid or B or whatever you want. So something to be watched for there, and also the Mongols. There'll be some teams on the T side, they're so aggressive at forcing the CTs back and just kind of will deny it all the time.
MongolZ swinging E-Box with the AWP again, so that worked previously for FURIA to try to disrupt the default, but the default opening from MongolZ has changed. In fact, it's not even a default, they're just walking up mid.
Yeah.
Walking up mid, and this spot's completely empty. There's no CT presence. They stack towards B with 3 players. This is a massive opening.
Yeah, it's a double front of A, like we just talked about. Position is just so huge, but they come back in and now they realize, uh-oh, we actually might be in a bit of trouble here. Nice smoke being thrown down from Fallen. He almost walks into the shot, even though he couldn't have known it. Yuri might hold the keys to this B defense right now. I think they've just called a freeze here. The Mongols saying, wait a minute, let's just see if anyone pushes. Somebody could be pushing out of the B bomb site. There could be a bit of a flank going on, so we still have a minute on the clock. Let's just see if anyone is going to feel the urge to do something here. Smoke's going in, a flash from the other side. A sick setup. Yakinda really helping out Yuri in that moment, and now they just have to fall back. They don't have to do anything else. Yakinda even getting an actual kill of his own in this one. But that flashbang to set it up was so well played.
And now Zinio just trying to get some value. MongolZ taking some almost lethal damage from the AK. And indeed, it was really cool to see that interaction. The Mongols, as you say, looking for an opening. FURIA, well, Yuri really finding a very, really just like the best possible timing, knows that that's his best moment to go, and confidently gets the kills. Ooh. And you said only a couple more rounds for FURIA, and they would feel pretty comfortable. And
yes,
4-3 for them.
Yeah, I think that's pretty sick. It's sort of a weird balance to find for FURIA when you know that the other team has called for that kind of a freeze in the middle of the round, because if you wait forever, that can kind of also be a mistake. And this time they just found a really, really good timing with the flash in. I think that you could see that Yakinda actually went from the B-bomb side back into CT spawn to throw that flashbang for Yuri, and it just couldn't have really been any better.
And you also, like, you're right. Like as the CTs, you don't know that it's 4 players there.
Yeah.
Which ended up being kind of the problem for MongolZ. Had they had more of a split, they could have found an opening elsewhere to then unlock the 3 players. So I totally agree. But it was also good coverage too from FURIA. There was only a couple holes on the map, but very cognizant, very aware. And we're off to the races once again. FURIA. We'll see if they can find an opening, and we'll see also what MongolZ decide to do, because that was a break from the typical opening that they've had. And yeah, here we go, back to that typical default. If MongolZ was to challenge us as we saw in last round, maybe there's an opening pick, but ouch. Now he's up on that mid setup.
The grenade landed right on top of Fallen and MongolZ. I think they are expecting for the AWP to be in B here, the Mongols. And the reason I think that is because that smoke that was thrown from CT spawn that lands on the stairs outside of A typically means that you have more of a 3B1 mid 1A kind of setup.
Ooh.
Yeah, you can't explain that, can you?
No.
Actual fire on top of his head, but he just took no damage for it. MongolZ missing a flick here. Blitz! That is so dangerous, but he does get out of there. Exchanging a couple of grenades. Fallen has picked up the AWP, and as we all know, he's definitely capable of using it. Not going to miss the opportunity to take down Blitz there. Creeping on through. Senzu again. This connector position is just so pivotal on the map. And so far, the MongolZ have won a bunch of fights here, but now they're going to go back towards Kazahstan instead. He's had a bit of a boring time over at this side of the map. We'll see if he can get something done. 30 seconds. He knows they're coming, but they don't have a Molotov to get rid of him, so he can just stand here. Such a huge off angle. Something that's missing. Flashbang is not the same thing. He's going to throw out one of his own and Fallen to step it up. Nice shot onto Techno. And I think that is enough here. 16 seconds on the clock as they try to make their way past, but Kazahstan is such a high IQ kind of round for him. Not showing himself, just staying alive way, way past when he should have been going down. And 9-10 knows he can't win the round. It's Kazahstan. It's only one kill, but it's so much more than that.
Yeah, absolutely. And Kazahstan, I think, you know, when I first saw him burst onto the scene as well, felt like a really momentum-y kind of base player, like aggressive and so on. And certain players can certainly, in these types of spots, if there's never any action, you never get any kills, you can kind of get iced out a little bit. You can start to like lose a little bit of confidence just because you're not getting any action. I know we've all felt it.
Yeah.
But yeah, to get that one kill and then basically in his head it's like, now my job is to delay.
Yeah.
Just play delay. And he did it perfectly, like you said.
In a different round where MongolZ try to go for that push earlier to the A bomb site, they will have Molotovs to clear out that position. That is something that always happens. The only reason they did it is because it was kind of a late thing. Yuri here in front of the smoke. Almost flashed through. That could have been sick, but Techno was in front of the flashbang and just takes him down completely.
And that's a much-needed early pick-off for the MongolZ. They've been struggling to win these opening advantages over the last few rounds.
MongolZ in the middle, trying to see if he can fake them out. Senzu, again, coming in from the connector. He knows that Fallen's out there. Fallen's actually in a lot of trouble right now. Blitz doesn't have a Molotov, but he does have an HE to try and blow it open, and yet Fallen knows he can't stay there forever. Unfortunately, Kazahstan is now on the bomb site alone here. They couldn't even help each other out. Big opportunity for the MongolZ here. FURIA again, 5 rounds already pretty good enough. Kazahstan being allowed to fight them just one at a time. Why would the MongolZ give him the opportunity? I can't even explain that. It's a 2 versus 2, and that's actually a real opportunity right now.
Isolated, another duel there. Kazahstan picking off Blitz, and now Senzu, 11 health. 30 seconds. Is he going to be given any love here? Absolutely not. Kazahstan anchoring the A bomb side, anchoring the B bomb side, and as Kazahstan is delivering.
That's 4 kills in the round, and you know, sick play from Kazahstan, but this is definitely a bit of a system failure as well on the side of the MongolZ. They pretty much did everything they needed to. Once they isolated the kill on Fallen, I would say they're about 85% of the way to winning the round at that point in time. And this, you could even see Kazahstan aiming to the right side of the obelisk. Why is there no one else peeking me? Like, why am I just being allowed to fight, one at a time? How sick is that? This actually could be a very one-sided map now. This is already 6-3. There's not a lot of money here either on the T side. I would say, all of a sudden, I'm quite concerned for the MongolZ. Look at Yakandar just having a great time. But I guess for the health of the best of 3, it's great news because it means we probably will get to see a 3rd map here.
And it's certainly possible. Just a couple players left now for FURIA to clean up. And there we go, MongolZ picking one up. Has had a really rough go of it in both maps, I would say. But now it's just Blitz looking. Oh my god! I don't think that his feet even touched the water, and his head's been blown clean off.
Yeah, not while he was alive anyway.
No, right, exactly.
He just wanted to jump in the river and get baptized before it's too late.
Yeah. Clean those feet, but no. 7-3 opening on the CT side of Anubis for FURIA on map 2. If you're just joining us, the MongolZ, as you can see at the top of your screens, a 13-4 opening. Quite dominant. But now the story appears to be changing.
I mean, this is, in my book, at least such a victory already for FURIA. Even if this goes 7-5, I would still feel pretty comfortable saying that they're probably going to win that second half too. The MongolZ, I mean...
You know what they say about counting your chickens, Anders?
What do they say about counting chickens?
They say don't count your chickens before they've hatched, is what they say. I don't know why, but... don't know if, you know, what's going on there, what's happening to all the experts. Either way, this Molotov doesn't seem to be doing the job, and it's a problem because FURIA are abusing that very fact.
I had a whole line of questions about chickens now that I wanted to go down, Dan. You've kind of derailed my brain for a quick second. It's like, are they even chickens before they hatch? Is it impossible to count them before, like...
Anders, you got a system reset right now.
Yeah.
Clear the cache of the chickens.
And taking a deep breath. We're back, and I'm locked in again, Dan. Don't worry about it. It's only a brief second. 42 seconds, by the way. FURIA once again in good positions here. MongolZ, really nice shot to hit right there. There is a bit of a comeback into the round. 30 seconds. The bomb dropped in the back. That's not exactly ideal. Yuri trying to disconnect from the fight. It's a good idea. He would rather play that 2v3 in the afterplant if he can get out of the battle, but he was caught right at the last second. Kazahstan kind of stomping his way through, but he's just so confident in the fight. He's going to win it as well. Such an impressive first half here for Kazahstan. Masinio's taken down Fallen. He's very low on health, though. Grenade up, and Kazahstan gets the job done. I feel like all of the rounds here, the FURIA have won that have been harder to win. It's Kazahstan just showing up at the right time. Huge.
He's delivering more goods than Amazon.com, Anders, right now. He is looking incredibly good and reliable. Which
is important in Kazakhstan, because I don't think they actually get Amazon here.
True. That's true.
But they have other websites that work really great. I've used some of them myself.
That's good.
Yesterday. I'll hook you up, Dan.
Thank you. I need some working websites.
There we go.
That hotel Wi-Fi, though, is leaves much to be desired.
You'll be fine. You need a couple of days without internet, I feel like, Dan. You know, so it's good for the brain, you know, kind of forced rehab from the internet. Oh, that's a very aggressive start to the round. Yakindal. Kind of a throwback to the earlier version of Yakindal that we all knew. It's Yuri just lining them up as they were all looking the other side. They wanted to hunt down the MongolZ AWP. They wanted to put pressure on him. And he had some backup for him. Round number 12 will go to FURIA here. It's a 1 versus 4 for Senzu. There really is nothing that he could do to win this one. The bomb is also lost all the way at the B-bomb site. So this is very impressive. FURIA making such a strong case for a third map, which, again, I think is fantastic. I want all these teams tested at the beginning of the tournament. I want a real sense of how they're coming into this one.
Yeah, and it's also curious about how teams might prepare their map pool for certain events, but let's see if Senzu can get some damage in here. Well, Senzu won't, and the money is honestly incredible. Kazahstan he's pushing that 16K. He's almost there. He's almost there.
Well, he can't use it into the second half, unfortunately. But he's going out rich, isn't he? Super rich.
Yes.
16,000. What would you do right now, Dan? If you had to use them today.
16,000.
And not like I'm buying things like in person, you know? You can only buy stuff in Astana. You've got like a 4-hour clock. You need 4 hours.
I would buy all the felts and velvets.
All right.
Yeah.
Stocking up on...
I want those textiles.
Local fabrics.
I want the textiles.
Their national dress here is really colorful. Like, it's really impressive, I feel like.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
They understand something about that. I don't know what... I actually genuinely don't know what the Danish national dress looks like, but it's probably really boring, so...
Yeah, I was going to say, there's
probably
a reason for it.
Probably is.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's natural selection with, like, in culture, right? It's the stuff that actually moves on. It's because it's probably, hopefully, good.
More exciting, yeah.
Maybe that's not true in all cases. I don't know. Anyway, moving swiftly on. 3-9 scoreline here for the MongolZ, and it's not a good start. Going into a CT side on Anubis in this fashion, as you were saying, it is certainly a reason to worry. And we'll have to see how they can open things up on the pistol.
You have no idea how angry I'm going to be if FURIA don't win this. Like, I'm genuinely going to be mad. So that's something to look forward to. This is such an impressive first half. If they somehow screw it up now, definitely going to be some criticism raining down on them. Yakindal leading the charge. I like it. 4 people in the middle. It's kind of a classic set. They got Kazahstan with 1 flashbang that he's going to throw through the cam position to try and set up this kill for it as well. Oh, wait a minute. Mid-air shot there. Flashes are being thrown already, but they haven't really done anything with it. MongolZ back into it here. It's 9-10 as the trades continue back and forth. Moving into the shot, Yuri getting the kill. The dualies for Techno, he really wanted to do something. He really wanted to get into the fight somehow. And the smoke is fading, and he's exposed out in the open. Senzu getting another shot. The bomb, though, being planted at the B side, and Kazahstan shooting him in the back of the head. What a long battle. Like, it really never stopped. It was like just 20 seconds of individual 1v1 fights.
Yeah, the pistols, I feel like, are really frustrating in that respect, where it feels like it's so hard sometimes to land those headshots, even for players like that have aim that does this good. And sometimes you just never know. You never know which way it's going to go. But here, obviously, I mean, that was also a cinematic opening. You kind of need that. You need that one in like 0.33 speed, perhaps. Either way, it's the perfect start. It's the perfect start for FURIA to close this map out very quickly.
Yeah.
And that's definitely what you need to do against the MongolZ. MongolZ deciding to force it up, of course. They are so far behind. There's no choice, I think, other than this.
Early Molotov to the front of the A-bomb site. HEs to follow, really trying to keep them away. Making sure that the MongolZ don't have too much control. Blitz pushed into the battle there. Didn't have a choice at all. 9-10. Fallen just kind of waiting back. Yeah, all right. He actually clears that corner in a really easy fashion. Messinio is back where he was Molotov'd out from earlier. So maybe there is an opportunity if he can jump on Kazahstan. That would give them a little bit of control back in the round. But they just don't have a lot of good weapons, unfortunately, on the CT side.
There are 3, though. They got some numbers on that B site, which does look like that's where the bomb wants to go. Potentially going up mid, though, so options will always be open, and I think that's always good. Always leave yourself with some options, Anders, in life.
Having a bit of a plan B is definitely worth it. And when you're in the middle of the map like this one, you can pretty much do whatever you want, so I do like it. Sinio goes down, Senzu. I don't know how he thought he could run through the middle without his rifle being out, but swiftly reminded that was not going to be the case. It will be 11 rounds for FURIA. Super impressive stuff. I really enjoy the fact that they're playing it this well, especially because I think you brought it up a couple of times, right? But even if they did kind of get crushed on the opening map, there were a lot of moments where they still looked pretty competitive, and it looked like they had some rounds there. So it's good to see that it wasn't just for nothing, that they actually are ready to battle through. Yeah,
and it is interesting too, because obviously coming into tournaments like this, one of the points I was beginning to make but cut myself off on was you don't necessarily know how teams might be prioritizing certain maps when they're scrimming, because teams will approach it differently. And if they're expecting, if they want to get really deep in a tournament, they can do so off of just like thinking like, oh, best of threes will have like one guaranteed really like 2 guaranteed sick maps in a best of 3, and one that we just will probably be bad at, but we can kind of play. Some teams take that approach. Some teams develop a wider map pool, and so if you come along like FURIA and you're like showing everyone that we're actually really sick on Anubis, when you get to teams that have a better overall map pool, this could just get banned. So if they've over-invested time into this, not saying that they have, but these are just some of the things that you tend to think about when you're on the other end of the veto against them. Ooh. Oh, that was beautiful.
Let's go. I can't help but feel like this is just all for show. It's not to say that the MongolZ shouldn't fight back and shouldn't try and do whatever they can here, but I don't think I could even explain how shocking it would be if FURIA couldn't find 2 more rounds from this stage of the game.
You just don't want to be seething with anger, that's all.
I definitely do. Well, it's also a great motivator, Sometimes I feel like for a lot of people recently have discovered, like in the last year or so, just the joy of hate watching certain teams. And
yes.
I myself do it from, on occasion.
Yes, yes.
It's could be a that's a different kind of way to enjoy the game.
That is why I won't miss an episode of Meghan Markle's cooking show, Anders.
Why have you done this to the broadcast, Dan? I feel like if we had a way to find casters, now would be the time. Now would be the opportunity. Well, I'm so happy. Up until this moment, I had never even heard that that was a thing.
Oh, you didn't know about it?
You've ruined it for me, Dan. I don't want to know what the celebrities are doing most of it. I didn't need to know that Katy Perry had gone to space at all, but I couldn't stop myself from knowing it. I had to be force-fed that information 10 times a day for like a week.
Yep.
Blitz.
Ooh, chance hit.
Yeah, not trying to go to space, just trying to see if he can win the round. Good start.
Oh, he manages to make the recovery happen. So 3-11, soon to be 4-11, and we are not too many rounds away from having to, you know, what's the term? Commit you to a mental asylum.
Yeah, I do need to.
There's a better term. I forget what it is, but you know, you get the gist.
Yeah, maybe we can get Kazahstan on the line, and he probably knows where they are. He's been googling them for Maui, so I'm sure he knows if there's one in Astana. This is again, in truth, I just think this is sort of a bit of a hiccup. It's not ideal for FURIA. I don't think it's a big deal. It has to go so much further than this, but here's a nice clutch nonetheless with the MP9. You love to see it. Good burst at range as well. Just everything about it working out pretty well.
Yeah. 9-10 picking up an AWP. Obviously, money is right to the limit. There's no looking back, though, from this point of view, and 9-10 is delivering yet again. Just like on Mirage, looking flawless, Yakinda falls to the ground, and now it's a 5v4 advantage for the Mongols, so
they're
that's
going
going
to
to be great for them.
They will not slow this down. Just Massinio on the other side. Flashes, grenades, everything else. He's trying to throw down the incendiary. Remarkable job. I thought for sure he was going to get traded. That incendiary was never going to stop them, but he's just so on point. Really crisp kills coming through for him. He's finally taken out, but still leaves them in a 2 versus 4. And more grenades being thrown in. Load of fireworks on top. The incendiary never touches the ground, unfortunately for them. And MongolZ getting a kill. The Mongols don't really need to be fighting this hard. They're kind of giving this round back in a way. That's so scary. Yuri, you know, 1 versus 2, but look at how low they were. That's definitely a lack of discipline for the Mongols.
The first mistake was MZinio's play, because that's the common spot where you get 2 and you're like, oh, I got 2, I did my job. But the problem is that he had the position that just completely locked up everything, where they have to swing into 2 players. And sure, they can hit a shot against a player that's longer range that makes contact first, but then MZinio is guaranteed a trade. Like, it's absolutely guaranteed. So by him actually going there and removing that forward position, if FURIA hit a couple headshots, it's on.
It nearly was. Kind of interesting. Going to go back towards the A side. Test Massinio again. He does only have a smoke this time, and to be honest, I mean, why not? If they had that Molotov for the cake, it would be even more fun, but yeah, a couple of flashes to rain through. They've already thrown a couple of them. He's calling it in once again, saying, I need a bit of help. Oh, the spray down is just so good, and with Techno there to back him up, it's a little bit harder than it seems to get those kind of kills in a position and so easily be traded, but not the case. He's up to 10. They don't lose a single player. 6-11.
Yeah, so, you know, we're getting closer and closer. And, you know, just...
I'm not worried.
You're not worried? Yeah, there's only so many gun rounds. But obviously the loss bonus is going to accrue, and has accrued already at this point. And we get a timeout from FURIA. And their logo will never not make me think of Thundercats. For those of you old enough to remember Thundercats.
I'm obviously old enough. That's not the problem. I still don't know what... maybe I do.
Maybe you never made it to Denmark.
I feel like we did get a lot of it. Was it like I guess like an American thing?
I don't know. Probably. We had it in the UK, obviously, but...
Well, I've missed out. Maybe I have to go back and find out.
10 viewers who are like...
Just to be sure you are aware that it's not a cat. That is a panther.
I mean, kind of same situation in the actual cartoon as well, I feel like.
Well, it depends on where you are, you know.
And also, like, they're felines.
If I'm out in the forest and I get attacked by a cat, I'd be so much happier that it was a panther. I'm just saying.
Yeah, fair enough.
Certain situations, I might distinguish between the two.
Well, 9-10 back at it again, opening up with the AWP in the middle position, being waited for potentially. They're looking for a push though, and not the hold of this angle. But they have to respect it. There's a util that should surely be coming in. Oh, 9-10, caught in front. Smoke, though, keeps him on the angle for now.
He's so hoping that they make the mistake. It is more rare to have the AWP in this position, but it's also more common if it's a rifler, for the rifler to be throwing smokes down. And the fact that there's no smoke here for the CT side, I think, is immediately suspicious to FURIA. And it should be to anyone. It's like, normally that single rifle in the middle is going to be tossing in incendiaries and smokes to try and keep everyone away. No utility at all. You're going to be wondering. You're going to be thinking this. It's just something is off about this. 3-man setup at the B bomb side, though, for the MongolZ. Looks like it could be a really good idea.
Sensu feels a little isolated by that Molotov, and in comes the push here from Yakinda, or at least threatening to do so. Just pausing again, and now the question being asked by Techno and Sensu. Will they go deeper? Looks like just holding the angle for now in the setup, and there's the spot. Just catches the arm for Yakinda. Who's going to win this one? Sensu, or rather Blitz wins his fight with the help of Sensu. And looks like a really good spot here for the MongolZ. 4 versus 3. Still the position towards this B site is being fought for by FURIA. And the AKs are rattling off. It's a 2v3 here for FURIA. 10 seconds to get the plant down. Another kill backside. Another one to have here as the charge comes on through. E-bomb's position is held. Kazahstan gets the headshot, but they have to plant the bomb. Techno just has to survive! Oh, and he manages to do just that. Unreal.
I feel like nobody on the FURIA side that was communicating. There was no time to plan. They had to get the kill. They were close enough to get the job done, but nobody wanted to make the call at the end. That's the kind of round that will not just, get you a bit closer to equalizing the score, but that might actually do real damage to the, the sort of the momentum on the FURIA side here. 7-11 now. They end up losing that so close. That should have been a FURIA round in spite of everything, because the MongolZ defense at the beginning was sick. Now they've got the double AWP set up on the CT side as well. And FURIA kind of, drifting out to sea a bit here. The coastlines are getting further away.
Are you worried yet, though?
No, not at all.
Okay, all right. I feel like you're on the Titanic right now. You're like, oh, everything's fine. It's unsinkable shit.
I think if they would have believed harder on the Titanic, they would have been fine.
Yeah.
That was what was missing. Oh, FURIA just charging it through. This is why I'm not worried, Dan,
All right.
I knew they were going to have a round like this one.
Makes sense. Unfortunately,
it was based on a tragic amount of missed shots in the middle, so kind of don't want to see that too often.
Yep.
Did kind of set up for the whole thing, and at the A-bomb site, just a couple of good flashes, good utility. And then the speed of the Tech 9, it always catches you off guard, doesn't it? Even if you know it could be happening there. Gun barrel spotted out. Fallen late on this one. They will try and go for the retake because they should. But Fallen's already here. He's already spotted it. It's one of my predictions that I made in an attempt to sort of be like a Counter-Strike prophet, that there will be a lot more A retakes on this map, like late in the rounds. Actually, not from the middle, but from the high ground if you're sneaking through CT spawn. I just think it's an underutilized thing, but...
Well, 1 round in what has been otherwise somewhat of a drought for FURIA as they try to close this one out. And we shall see if this can be repeated, because that was an unusual round, just a very fast pace. Oh, that's a great find, though, for 9-10 very early on, and spots another 2 players, including the bomb.
They have no money at all to work with on the CT side. They just bought, obviously, everything that they could here. Sensu's gone down. It's such a long fight, but Techno cannot get the job done. The MP9 betrays him. 9-10, everything is on fire all around him. I think 3 different Molotovs thrown into that position, and it was too much to handle. Blitz and Messinio left 2 versus 4 here. FURIA, obviously, kind of a stressful moment at some part in the second half where it looked like they were going to let the MongolZ all the way back into the game. But I think they managed to stabilize things at the moment. Yakinda taking down Messinio, and just Blitz. Nothing he could do. Nice deagle shot. Get another one just for the feel-good moment. It's not going to happen. MongolZ takes him down 13-7 at the end of the map here. That's really, really impressive with FURIA.
Totally, and I feel like, we saw some of the glimpses of brilliance from FURIA on the first map, but hey, they proved that they can play against the MongolZ. We're going into a 3rd map, and it's back to the desk.
Indeed it is. And yeah, look,
At the very same time, you should keep you know, both the tabs open at the same time. Watch both the games if you've got the mental capacity for it. What do you think, Dan? We're going into Inferno as the last map on this one.
Well, you know, it's hard to bet against the Mongols overall, but obviously we saw a lot of class out of FURIA there, and even though, you know, MongolZ is having some trouble to kind of get activated here or there, I feel like still has his head in the game like very well.
Right.
And honestly, the emphasis on playing the AWP in this map is not near as big as some of the previous maps that we've already seen. So we'll see how it all comes together. FURIA on the CT side, the Mongols on that T side, and they're looking like they have their apartments in their eyes.
I think if the Mongols saw the jump there, then they must know that they've been spotted. Also, how crazy is it to see Kazahstan on B alone with no utility? It's just him and the USP, basically saying, I'm just going to hit headshots if they show up. There's no other plan. There's literally no other way out. But I don't think the Mongols have realized what's happening. And they, for their turn, have no utility either. They're just going to be walking in here, running in blocks, straight in, caught mid-air. Oh, MongolZ as well, hitting a headshot. This is so good. The stack is absolutely working. FURIA, so close to getting the pistol on their side, and I think it's a necessity for them to have a good shot. But Sensu, how has he fought his way back? How did he just get a couple of kills? Now it's a 2v2. The bomb is in the pit still, and Sensu's down there. He's stolen the USP at the same time, and they've frozen the round, waiting to see if Blitz could get something done, but he walks into Kazahstan instead, who's coming from the other side. Picked up a couple of dualies there, and now it's just Sensu against the world. Clips one out in the open. It's so close to getting the next headshot. Yakanda trying to stay calm on the other side, but he's very exposed here, and Sensu's going to find him once again. Just no coverage there. Smoke, he's behind him. It doesn't matter. Sensu still hits the shot. 4 kills to his name, and the Mongols, they end up clutching it in the most ridiculous fashion.
Sensu, my god. This whole series, I feel like he's had that, he's really lethal in like the first bullet aiming scenarios, like with these pistols, it's just perfect. And like you said, you know, walking straight into the A setup, really well done to understand how to get that A setup online by FURIA. Mongols walk right into the trap, but and the time was even bought for Kazahstan to get into play. But Sensu, the individual talent, he is ice cold, absolutely.
What a ridiculous scenario. That's a 2-on-5 in a pistol round that they end up giving away. FURIA actually had all 3 opening shots there, and still they were not able to hold on. Oh, that's such a devastating beginning, isn't it? Flash around the corner here. Mac 10, he does spot out at least 2 different people, so great info.
And this is where the mind games come in, because I think they saw 3, at least in terms of just counting the nades and seeing the positions with the weapons, as a scout was there. And do you just sit on Banana? It looks like the Mongols just did decide to go to top mid. FURIA, not trying to overplay the position, just respecting it. It's like, we're just going to rotate. Just keep it simple. And it might just work out. With that said, Techno is going to be throwing util onto the B site. But now the game's been given up here. And as they are just pushing into the top mid position, now holding towards Connector.
It's a bit interesting. The bomb is down in the corner here. So Techno trying to hold on. They catch the scouts, and I think that's all they really needed. So a couple of moments that could have gone very bad here. You could see Massinio and Sensu both pretty low on health at range. Blitz to take down Fallen. All right, they hold on the Mongols, but there was an opportunity.
Oh my god, yeah, that was so close. That really was so close by FURIA, really presenting a lot of danger in these rounds. I also like the setup FURIA had, because they had 3 on B, and then they had 2 on the, basically by the connector position. So they can play together, and as a pack with these setups, they use like super well. So, MongolZ, going to be up against a second round, which I feel like no round is given here with these teams, or rather around 3.
Yeah, I mean, on Inferno, you just unfortunately have to get so close to everything that it just always is a bit uncomfortable.
Yeah,
shouldn't be much more than maybe like 1 or 2 upgraded pistols if they really want to go for it, but doesn't need, you know, that's looking very likely at the moment. Gotta wonder if Kazahstan is going to be dropping for MongolZ later on. He's a bit more money than everybody else. He's going to buy a single HE, a single flash there on Fallen. So, all right, another one on Yuri. I do kind of like that. Double grenade. Wish they had a 3rd or even a 4th. But I just like the explosions, so.
Well, you guess get some explosions. On cue. And a couple openings there for the MongolZ. 3 openings on Banana, 1 more to be had potentially. Yuri on the other end of that half wall. Teasing and taken down. So there we go. Nice and simple. MongolZ trying to make a little bit of cash. Bit of cash money with that deagle.
Got the right idea. There is a flank coming, so he's going to have to get this job done pretty much now, or shot in the back instead. Wow. Timing is pretty incredible. The hunt is on. I mean, they're kind of focused on him right now. They could probably just plant the bomb, but get the job done the old-fashioned way. 3 to start with here for the MongolZ. It's a good beginning, but first real test will be FURIA picking up rifles. And they will have the AWP on MongolZ. Yeah, dropped by Kazahstan, so nice to have a bit of extra cash there.
And, you know, you made a good point off camera. We were talking about how the MongolZ, once they got momentum, they just never let go. And this is the, you know, other than Mirage, you know, we didn't really see it on Anubis. You know, you could say that about FURIA on Anubis.
Yeah.
But right now, the MongolZ in a position, if they win this one, to really cement some solid momentum. So we'll see if there is any limitation from FURIA. They go a bit aggressive here around the half wall and not quick enough on the scope 9-10. And that is the AWP stolen away. Banana control stolen away.
That is such a mental play. He runs up there with a Molotov in his hand, and as soon as it's put out by a CT smoke, which it pretty much instantly was, I mean, it's just... Even if he gets the shot, to be honest, he's probably going to get traded anyway with 2 people pushing him. I honestly kind of love it. It is probably the sign of a crazy person, but...
You have to be fully 100% committed to the play. Oh my god. That is just the best camera angle. Thank you, production.
It's just, he looks so concentrated as well. It's like, I'm fully focused. Guys, I'm locked in. I'm scoped up. I'm ready to go. So scoped up, you couldn't see the HE. Not that it might have mattered. Here we go. 40 seconds. There is a double setup at the site. Good grenade usage so far for the MongolZ. Kazahstan trying to be relevant in the round here, and you're kind of burning alive in the back. He's going to be found, and Senzu's cracked all the way through. Gets a couple of kills. The bomb is going to be planted with 30 seconds left, and honestly, there's not much they can do here. 2 versus 3. They just don't have the cash for it. MongolZ, it's fine to stick around and try and get a couple of shots, but very soon it won't be worth it any longer.
It's going to be interesting to see how MongolZ tries to play with the AWP. How many opportunities will he be afforded to get that opening pick? You know, you see those, you know, those mid pick attempts. You see, you know, timings on apartments and so on. But so far, the MongolZ have been hammering banana control. They've really been focused on that. And I think that's often a smart way to start an Inferno on the T side, Anders, because you start to condition the CTs to have to respect it by either just giving it up if they feel like they can't really win that battle, or just commit them to using a lot of util very early, which then hurts them as you then slow down the round as the T side. So I like this opening and the conditioning that the MongolZ are presenting.
And we just had a whole discussion where we were watching, you know, Big and who was playing?
Aurora.
Damn, Aurora. It's because they changed names now. They're throwing me off. I still keep wanting to call them Eternal Fire. You know, like, it's not them anymore. Anyway, we watched them on Inferno, right? And especially Big had a bit of a harder time being too aggressive on the B bomb side, which did leave some potential issues for them. It's MongolZ here. Doesn't seem like FURIA are running into the same kind of issues. They really want to push this. I don't know if he saw that 9-10, but he's certainly acting like he did. Takes down Yakindar. That's such a strong play and so much damage coming through. They know they've got him low, or at least they sense it on the other side. MongolZ with a flick somehow gets to live. That's absolutely wild. I thought he was going to be dead.
Yeah, 9-10 looked particularly bloodthirsty there, even pulling out the pistols with a full intent to scale. And that fadeaway flick shot from MongolZ is fantastic.
He's on 1 health.
I was just like staring at the screen. I'm like, oh my god. His health is indeed 1. That's the kind of hero or play that is necessary. Just look at how the round has changed because of that.
Yeah, but it could all be for nothing, right? He's alone at the fountain. They've thrown that one smoke towards the mini pit to sort of suggest that maybe there could be a bit of a wraparound to short side of A. Okay, now some backup is being called for. Okay, Kazahstan getting to jump around the corner. Is he going to be there in time? MongolZ just has to hit one shot. I doubt he'll live through that first kill. But now that Kazahstan is here, and there's a flank coming in for the middle as well. Fallen actually on a bit of a mission as they're setting up for it. He's going to call it in, saying, yeah, it's right now. 18 seconds on the clock, and MongolZ is still just here. He doesn't get the shot that he wanted. And again, they trade their way through. 2 versus 2, 12 seconds on the clock. Blitz, he gets to live through the flank, and we're just 8 seconds left. The bomb gets planted. Yuri immediately did take care of Techno, and Blitz is already solo. We're talking about one single bullet here for Yuri to get the round, get FURIA back online, but instead it's an absolute sickening headshot. Blitz just takes him out.
Oh, it had to be the insta-kill, and it was from Blitz. Really a crazy performance there right at the end, so clutch. And that really takes MongolZ over the line. And after all that work by MongolZ as well, I think that opening kill, that really changed the pace of the round. The MongolZ had to slow it down. They offered up a fake towards the A side of the map. It was pretty telegraphed.
Yeah.
And players were in position for that B defense, and it just went down to the wire here. Oh my goodness, Blitz. Oh my god, it couldn't be more perfect.
This crosshair was just straight on him.
That's a really crazy round for them to get, given how close it was. Obviously, we'll still get a buy here featuring that AWP, but we are light on some util for the CT side.
Bit of an issue, no question. Playing Banana CT side, playing Inferno CT side without all the grenades, it's just one of those things that can be really awkward. Once you get closer to like the 50 or 40 second mark, you start to realize that you just don't have everything that could happen here. Might also incentivize FURIA to try and be a bit more aggressive, either early on or you know, try to retake part of the map a little bit later on, because they're not going to have everything.
And both teams still really wanting to fight for banana control. Quick ball flash over the top for Kendall to peek that half wall, see what he can find. Just here's one AK, and that's important because there could be apartments top mid being taken right now, as far as FURIA understand. And so voiding the top banana position ever so slightly. No util up there for the CTs. Perfect entry from Techno. Here is Fallen trying to trade, but it's now all on Kazahstan.
I think they know that he's back here as well. Some of the grenades that were thrown out, I think they have a really good read on it. You can see Techno's checking absolutely everything. Will get shot right in the face. Kazahstan needs a triple. Unfortunately, even the double kill, as impressive as it is, it won't be enough to get his team back into this one. If they can catch this kill, leg shot, oh, but he lives. And that's all he had to do. If they get the kill there on Messinio, maybe you could make an argument. Even then, I would say the 2v2 is still going to be very hard to win, but you could have tried it. Not going to happen here. Saving the AWP instead. 6 going to be on the side of the MongolZ. And they had 3 people there. 2 of them at the top of Banana, but they couldn't really coordinate well enough, and some of the flashes that were coming through there for the MongolZ were just deadly.
Yeah. And what's interesting is that, you know, FURIA have said we want to try to fight for Banana. They may be in a spot now where they might need to try to play top Banana retakes, because, you know, obviously there's lots of nades that you can do to that effect. But if MongolZ are going to dump a lot of util early, and the CTs can just hold on to theirs, allow them to the MongolZ to take top Banana, then kind of get that half-wall smoke, get the flashes and Molotovs in, you know, just to like clear out the positions, and then be able to like retake it away from them. That could be an option if they still want to fight for that top Banana control. But I think we're at that inflection point, Anders, because it's 6-0. FURIA have overall been losing the Banana battle.
Now the MongolZ they're so relentless in how they take this fight. Even when they run into a bit of resistance, that early smoke that goes down, classic smoke to play around. Techno thinking about trying to do that a little bit here. He's taking a lot of damage for it already. Flash on over. Nobody there to receive on the other side.
Yeah, big util dump from the T side. CT's holding on to more of their util. The retake could still be an option if they want to do it.
He knows there's 2 people at the site right here. He knows that because the HEs were thrown pretty much on top of each other. So unlikely that was going to be one player.
The half-wall smoke from the CTs, Anders, and the Ts gave up the top banana position. So as far they have to assume that behind that smoke, the CTs are there. Although we just saw a smoke on the B choke that might give the game away. CTs are in the site. But during all of this, there was no progress made towards mid or apartments.
Yeah.
So MongolZ are a bit behind the timing right now.
MongolZ just waiting. There's one more smoke over at the B bomb site. Do they think that was the last one? If they do, they could wait it out and just execute in the last basically 15, 16 seconds at this point towards B. They could do it. They will have enough time to run through. MongolZ getting pushed back. Bomb is now making its way up towards the A side, so they've made up their minds. They don't want to be going B. They don't trust that there isn't another smoke in play somehow. It's Kazahstan at the first corner and actually running back into it. 13 seconds. He's playing for time. He's playing smart right now, but it just won't matter. Techno finding the headshot. 7 seconds left here. The bomb being brought onto the site, and the FAMAS here in the pit. He can't stop it. Oh, he'd love to get that wall bang. That would have won the round if he could have found it, but the FAMAS not going to be the weapon for it, and Yekandar is too far away. I do love the idea for Kazahstan to kind of, again, disengage. He knows there's so little time left. They just needed to buy like 2 or 3 more seconds, and they would have won the round of time. But Techno relentlessly hunting them down. 3 kills in this round. MongolZ is going to be at 7.
Yeah, the entries were really just very aesthetic, beautiful to watch. And I mean, it was interesting to see that MongolZ really changing the pace because, again, they saw that the response from the CTs around Banana was different, playing a more passive setup, using their util to kind of position them into retaking it if they wanted to. And what was interesting is that the MongolZ then threatened the fake, but the fake was just very obvious, and it's because the timing was off. And so the players are pushing top mid, and it's like, okay, it was 3 of you top mid. Okay, we're probably not going to be a B play for the C4, so...
I think for the MongolZ as well, it's such an open question because what you're trying to figure out really is what is the likelihood that there will be one more smoke on the B bomb site, and it's such a hard challenge. So like if there is one more and you're down to 20 seconds and they have another one or even an incendiary at that point, it's devastating. So at some point they made a choice and said, okay, we just don't know for sure. We're not going to trust it. Let's just go somewhere else. And that turned out to be a really good call, but it's an easy thing to screw up on the T side in the mid, like especially late in the rounds.
Yeah.
Like you lose track. How many have they thrown? Is there like, do we know for sure if there's not another one? And if you don't, then maybe it isn't worth the risk.
Well, there's an opening change here from the MongolZ because they're putting the emphasis on going top mid first and sort of leaving Banana alone for the most part. Still threw some util there, but even with that said, though, FURIA also not interested in Banana control all that much. There is the potential retake util. There's a response. So the MongolZ kind of making it feel like they are there, but at the same time they're scaling towards mid, and that's where the bomb is now going as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that you point that out. That deep Molotov could definitely sell the idea that they might be Banana. But actually, FURIA are doing a great job. They're going out to look now, so they know for sure. They could even leave Fallen there with the 1 AWP. They have 2 of them in play, and that's exactly what they're going to be doing. So Yekandar is going to be rotating back from the B bomb side to try and be part of this A defense, if he can at all. Down in the pit, the flashbangs are really good, but MongolZ is here. No Molotovs on him just yet, so still in position to do something. 35 seconds. They haven't fully committed the bomb. If they wanted to, they could fall back. But that window is closing rapidly. Nice shot onto MongolZ. Techno cracks open the A bomb site. Once again, he's just so crisp with these entries. I thought for a second he might have even had that shot there. It'll be 9-10 to hold the angle, and unfortunately for FURIA, there's not a lot they can do to retake this one. They will have to save, and it's 8 rounds now for the MongolZ.
Yeah, gotta respect it. Gotta respect that post plant. And you're totally right. Techno's entries, even in that, with I think the previous round we were talking about, where hey, their fake was pretty transparent, and FURIA were ready. They knew what was coming. Techno just had a series of headshots that were so quick and so clean that it was an overpowering mechanical performance. And so that's the problem with the MongolZ. They're a pretty well-rounded team, and when it comes down to the aggressive movements, not only do they have a really good way of like intuitively playing off one another super fast, they're all hitting hard.
Yeah, that kind of momentum is, I mean, we've seen it before. We saw it on the opening map. Didn't really work so much on the second one, but again, we knew FURIA were going to feel pretty comfortable. I mean, maybe we didn't actually know that because, again, they have made the changes, but you know, we knew that the core of the team were going to be good on that map on Anubis, and they still are, so that's pretty exciting. Tactical timeout for FURIA. to try and figure out how do we stop this from happening. We've won no rounds. It's easy to keep track of, though.
Yeah, and the thing is that they're doing a lot correct. And I think a few rounds have just come down to these very marginal factors where, yeah, it falls onto the clutch kills and headshots and so on. We had that round from Blitz, for example, where he gets the kill onto Fallen as Fallen's trying to flank, and like with the last bullet there, and then hits the must-hit, like, first bullet headshot without even having to adjust his aim on the oncoming player. There are all these moments where it could have, you know, these could have changed the story, but FURIA back at it again, and MongolZ. Same opening with the util, and more aggression, though, from Yakinda. He's up close, and he might go for a pop flash play here. Yakinda's in a perfect position. He gets one, and now is he going to fall off here? And he's just staying out there. He wants more.
Got the classic Yakinda play. It's been a while since we've seen the full effect. Again, he, you know, once he started playing outside of the CIS region, you could sort of tell that his confidence or his impact has been a lot lower when it comes to this kind of stuff, but he still does enjoy it. Got the kill that he wanted to begin with. Flashbang is sick. Kazahstan gone down. Blitz has only died once. He's 10-1 at the moment, and he's down to a single point of health in this one. That's
fair.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Wow, that's kind of crazy. Also, from the CT perspective, it looked like he was on ice skates on the entry there. And MongolZ, they are pretty healthy on the money, so they are looking for these kills.
I'm going to be honest, Dan. I think rollerblades probably the better thing. I feel like if you do, if you try with the ice skates on Inferno, probably not going to go that far.
That's a fair point.
Not really a skater myself, but
I didn't do very well with physics at school, so
it's fair enough.
You know, the UK education is not.
Although, to be honest, with all the cobblestones as well, the rollerblades might not do that much better.
That's true, yeah.
Maybe Rocky's out. Oh, Blitz has died to the bomb. That's tragic.
That's true.
Oh, it doesn't add to his death, so.
Maybe he has a sense of justice. He's like, I shouldn't really be alive.
Yeah. They'll get this one. Emotionally, they get to kill me in that sense.
Okay, well, I mean, speaking of emotions, it's hard when you're deprived of a round for so long for it not to have some impact on the emotional part of the game for FURIA.
No question. Yeah, there's just not enough of an output in terms of the kills and everything else. You're right, there have been some closer rounds. But I feel like it's been Kazahstan that's really been trying to get them there. Nice grenade. No, it lands a bit deeper. I thought MongolZ might have eaten more of that. He's going to get the kill instead of 9-10. Back for more. They finally get rid of Techno.
Beautiful.
If they can't win this round, FURIA, then there's probably no hope. There might not be any hope anyway. But I think this is the round that kind of tells you whether or not FURIA really have anything left to fight with.
Hope is all in the mind. Well, the setup here, aggressive setup. This is great, and it's perfect. Oh, the flick shot there from MongolZ announces his position. They may be focused on him. He can play the bait for Yakinda now at this point. Can even just kind of like fake peek, try to suggest with the barrel of the gun. Just get Yakinda in a spot exactly where he can get that pick off. Blitz goes down again, and Yakinda holds. Bomb now down at his feet on the half wall, and Senzu is left trying to defend, but they are going into him. Senzu, oh, imagine. I mean, there's 3 more players still, but you know. You gotta build it up, Anders.
Listen, I think it would have been sick if they get it. Senzu, he's a fun player. I was into it for a minute there. For a minute. Okay, it's great, but it's hard to shake the feeling that it's too late. You know, maybe it isn't, but for FURIA,
Anders, your worldview there's something going on, man. Do you need to talk about it?
It's very, it's very negatively charged. I don't know.
Maybe you should do some grounding, take those socks off, stand in the grass.
Or whatever. To be honest, I think I'm slightly mad still that Banks, complimenting other people in esports, never me. That could be really ultimately what's bothering me,
Just send him a message. I'm sure, for a nominal fee, you can get a few deliverables out of him.
I'll think about it. I'll text him an offer. I'll Venmo him something, whatever it is that the kids use.
Or draw him a Venn diagram.
Yeah. The relationship between feeling good. compliments. 9-1, and a bit of an awkward fight there. I appreciate Techno trying to do it because that is pretty much the job of being the entry. And if you look at the health that's left on your Kindar, he is so close to getting the job done. Nice nade, though, in return, will very much damage the rest of the MongolZ here. Kazahstan traded out. No one's looking for Fallen. There's no reason they should be either. And he gets a pretty good double kill. Only one player left on the bomb side. There's no reason to slow this down. If you're Senzu, you're either going to win this fight and get the bomb planted and have a chance for the 1v2, or you just get deleted.
Beautiful. Really nice shooting there from Fallen. Great precision. And that's going to be... Whoa. Jesus. Oh,
I'm on the warpath, Dan. No one's getting away with anything here.
Yeah, I feel like... Yeah, you're kind of like really dialing into the... You know, the Genghis Khan mode. Well...
It's working for the MongolZ.
It is. It absolutely is. That shot, I'm glad we got that, the POV of that shot. That's crazy.
Round number 12. Last of the half. There's plenty of money for the MongolZ side. I think either way, getting 9 is... No one's going to be complaining about that. Bit of a missed shot for MongolZ, but again, with the Yikunda backup, it's really good. They're going to rotate another person back to the A-bomb site, so more of an even split. I think MongolZ hoping to hit a timing before that third person came back. They're not quite going to be able to do that, but with an entry, maybe they can break through. It's not quite going to happen. Look at Fallen. Really good work. Deep grenade, lands smack on top of Messinio, and he just only barely lives. Good job, Fallen, with the headshot at the end. And a 9-3 finish in favor of the MongolZ, but you know, FURIA get just a tiny bit of room to breathe at the end of the match, or at the end of the half.
Yeah, they held on really well. It's reminiscent to me of the Mirage game, where even though it's a dominant scoreline, it feels like there are opportunities, there are chances, and it's just that extra bit of class coming out of the MongolZ to just have them be winning more of those rounds. And it really did feel similar to you know, the way this first half went. So if we get a pistol out of FURIA, I have no doubt that we can see another run. We saw that it's possible in Anubis, that they can definitely perform. So here's hoping we get a solid run out of them.
Yeah, but remember how Mirage ended?
All right.
We said the same thing. I'm just saying, I am super worried for FURIA. I really am. I do think they will enjoy the T side more, nonetheless. I think, you know, being on the side where you get to make, you know, more choices, you're in charge of things in that way. But I need to see something straight away. I want to be impressed.
I feel like we have like the heaven and hell situation going on right now. Like, you know, I'm the good angel on one shoulder, you're
I'm the one saying no.
Evil one.
It's not working. Listen, I sometimes you just have to play that role.
You're the guy that's like, yeah, repick this angle. Go for one more.
Here's something exciting. Look at the amount of smokes and Molotovs on the FURIA side. That's an uncommon amount of utility for a T side here. I would suggest probably for some sort of a B execute, but we'll see if they find some information to play with. One of those Molotovs also, if you go for an A attack in the pit, could be really sick. But it's all guesswork for the minute. Yakunda here, jiggling around in the middle. Oh, all right. Faking it out with the door being open. Creaky door.
Yeah. He got the peak CT and Sinio. Okay, the MongolZ are going to make it really hard for FURIA. Nightmare mode engaged. FURIA.
I don't think he stopped, and I swear he was also halfway back around the corner there.
Rollerblades.
Yeah, that might have actually been the rollerblades. What an absurd situation.
Okay, well, 50 seconds, there's still some time. And the bad news is that the CTs can play really devious setups now. We see that in the pit. Lovely fly through there of that setup. And the oncoming FURIA players looking for that opening. That's good. And now the split out of the Palmer's position is good for the entry. Blitz goes down. Did they expect Senzu? Senzu is lethal with this USP, finding every head so far. MongolZ doing everything to try to save this one through the smoke, but with the flashbang, it's absolutely perfect. The MongolZ, they are unstoppable.
It seems like it. And they're laughing. They're having a real good time of it. I mean, the setup for it was a good idea, but Senzu, just the calm with which not only he got the first kill, but his prediction of the fact that someone was going to fall down against him is like that shows you he knew that was going to happen before, you know, while he was still fighting the first one. Come on, give me a break. So close to getting that headshot against MongolZ too.
What is the Counter-Strike science on that one?
Counter-Strike
scientists, please explain.
Dan, if I knew, I would be doing it.
Fair enough.
Wouldn't be here.
You shouldn't be paying banks. You should be paying the research studies on that.
Yeah,
so you can
I need to
out.
figure that out. That's wild. 9-10 here. Just playing the arch position. He doesn't really have any backup. Bit of an awkward timing, potentially. Does still win the fight, and the backup is there, so not awkward at all. Techno does not want to wait around. He's like, no, we're going to do this one quick. Yuri alone with a oh, another Glock, P250. Eventually going to be hunted down one way or another. Wow, 11-3.
It's a depressing image.
Like dead in the gutter.
Yeah, just like discarded. It's like trash in the gutter. It's like, that seems...
Yeah, either a
feel about that?
terrible end to a round or a really hard night out. Could be.
It could. Well, FURIA back on the buy. A couple MP9s in action for MongolZ, and with the lead that they have, you know that your opponent could get tricky and could be making very risky plays. Deep molly, and indeed the forward smoke, but it's going to backfire here. Well done, Yukunda. Picks that one up, a follow-up too. That's a good opening, 5v3 for FURIA.
I did enjoy the idea of going aggressive like that, but this just wasn't going to be one of those rounds where it worked out. Oh, look at this. Gambling on the A-bomb side and turning the gamble into, you know, a bit of a spearhead going down the middle. I still love the idea. They are kind of getting beat up, and no chance really to win the round any longer, but I think the decision-making behind this is all pretty solid, I would say, for the MongolZ side of things. FURIA, though, great work. If they want any chance of getting back into this game, it has to start like this early on. Win the next, you know, 3 or 4 rounds in a row, and then it could be a real interesting, you know, thing. And to be honest, I mean, that obviously can be done. The money's going to sort of disappear for the MongolZ pretty soon, pretty much right now. So if they win this next round here, FURIA, then won't say that immediately back in the game, but it's no longer as crazy. I might be a little bit less negative than if that happened. I might. I won't make any promises yet.
Oh my goodness. Well, we'll see what happens then. MongolZ.
I love this.
Aggressive on the banana. Will the bluff be called if they rotate players off? In fact, they haven't rotated players off just yet, so keeping 3 on banana.
FURIA, though, they have a sense of it. They actually dropped Techno through the smoke on the other side, but it will probably all will be down to Messino here. If he gets a double kill, this is immediately a very interesting round, but he is found by Fallen. Just imagine being allowed to walk all the way into the pit, essentially, without, you know, ever making any noise, throwing any grenades or anything on the A site.
Yeah.
It's pretty wild.
Retake attempt. 9-10, when he spot the graveyard player. Very good spot indeed. Fallen delivers yet again. I'm
immediately angry already. Why are they going for a retake attempt?
Indeed.
It makes no sense.
Indeed. One of the interesting things too is that you get more confidence if you're FURIA by winning some of these fights. It's like a small thing, but if you're winning rounds but still actually like not getting kills, it does still actually feel like it doesn't feel as good. Like it doesn't feel like you're winning as much.
It just means that instead of going into the next round for FURIA, if there's 3 rifles saved, then FURIA know the next round's well, we're gonna have to try really hard again. Like it's nothing is easy. We have to fight for everything. Whereas now with Blitz maybe staying alive, he will. Then you know that you kind of know, okay, there's 1 rifle, that's probably it. So like you're sort of MongolZ are giving a much more breathing space to FURIA in this next round.
Yeah, and what's interesting too is that FURIA have now, they're in a position where they're showing, you know, we're happy to go and take top mid pretty quick. So it creates an interesting dynamic for the MongolZ. They can still, you know, open heavy banana, but they could also try to win the rounds on the top mid take as well. So we'll see what they'll decide to do when we get to that buy round. But in the meantime, we've got the hero M4 in Blitz's hands. see what magic he can work.
Yeah, they have, I think, one smoke over at the B-bomb site. The other one is actually on Blitz here, which also immediately I don't really understand, but the boost is going to be working out.
I was ready for him to die and to say magic is not real, but
still, maybe it is. Techno trying to get close to the P250. That's a really accurate shot. He's so scary. Even with just a P250, I thought there was a chance he'd get the double kill here. Kazahstan kind of lucky to make the pass as well. Or he could have died trying to cross splits. Unable to get the right angle on that one. So the bomb will be planted if nothing else. 3 versus 3 here. And FURIA, obviously, they have to win this one. The MongolZ are just so suffocating. Every single round they're fighting, and they always look a bit dangerous somehow.
And Bliss can maybe just save this Vem4 if he wants to. I mean, that probably is the best play at this point.
Yeah.
I don't know if like any guns will be blown across to spawn by the bomb, but oh my god, that Blitz guy.
Yeah, but look at 9-10. He's down at the bottom picking up an AK. And again, if they could just make it a bit more expensive right now, it's going to be so annoying for FURIA. It's the same kind of thing where, you know, not only do they get an AK on the other side, but you actually lose 4 players.
Yeah.
You just don't get to celebrate really anything.
At the very least, they have a healthy enough economy that it's not too annoying from that point of view. But I think, you know, I agree. Just the sweatiness of this match, even when you're in a presumably very advantageous position, it just doesn't feel good. And I mean, FURIA have a long road back. And if they're constantly like stepping on like broken glass the whole way, it's like, that's not the best.
Definitely not. Another potential Die Hard reference in the second one.
Let's go.
Nades, Kazahstan, low on health, but that one lands right in Techno's forehead. Senzu's going to get blown up as well. Yakandar doing the best that he can to get his team back into this game. And this might be one of the rounds that actually really swings the momentum. Now, 9-10 is moving down the middle of the map while this fight is happening. Fallen to take care of Blitz. And Yuri, back turn, executed by 9-10. Does create a bit of an opening. Deep grenade here, but it doesn't actually flash out MongolZ, and he's ready with the AWP. He's not afraid to take that fight. Really good shots, and I think that's enough. 11-7 going to be the scoreline here. And so much of this, in some of these early rounds, is manufactured by Yakandar. Getting just 1 or 2 openings is really sick to see.
And it's a cool pace switch up coming in as well, just charging down the banana position. Obviously, you have to hit the shots just like you said, and Yakandar's doing just that. But at the same time, you know, if you're the MongolZ, now you have to start thinking: do we want to dump more util early on to try to deal with that? Do we want to play again less util until we kind of hear like all that util coming in from them, and we understand that they're going hard, so then we can drop util, play on the site, give them top banana. There's all these variations that can be interpretations from the MongolZ. So I'm curious what they decide. Because it's so hard on Inferno, you know, to know what the perfect opening is.
It's honestly, I think it could also be hard against a player like Yakandar if he's playing more like, I would say, sort of the better version of himself. Because I think for someone like Yakandar, even if you choose to fall back into the B-bomb side and don't fight for banana at all in the beginning, there's genuinely a chance that Yakandar will take the fight all the way into the B-bomb side against you. So if you give up banana, he might not actually respect that and say, well, I'm still going to fight and kind of keep going, which, you know, he must be one of the more frustrating players to be up against for that reason. You can kind of see it here, you know. He's ready for these kind of fights where he's in the zone. I think if nothing else, if MongolZ can manage to slow down the game, just so Yakandar isn't allowed to do that, but that requires a lot of utility, and you have to be really on point with it.
Yeah, and what's amazing about what you're saying for FURIA is that the trade-offs. If it takes a lot of utility, well, now you're playing CT side at a slow round with low util, sucks. Oh, hold on, hold that thought. What a shot there, Senzu.
Okay.
Takes down Kazahstan. Unrecoverable weapon, though. But the 5v4 is a welcome sight for a CT side that doesn't have much to work with.
Look at the MongolZ. They're really not sure what's going to be happening next. They got a couple of people towards Arch. Nobody hard on the A-bomb side or pit just yet. And then the stack over here. The bomb, very clearly from our point of view, making its way towards the A side at the moment. Smoke up for the boost. Bit of a weird smoke that lands back there. Not exactly how you want to do at the coffins, but it doesn't really matter because they're not actually going for the B-bomb side anyway. And now they are inside of the bomb site. 30 seconds. Just 2 people holding on. Messinio and 9-10. It's still early. Even with 20 seconds, they can't play this for time. They have to get the kills. Blitz trying to get in there and relocate. Try and see if he can help out. 15 seconds on the clock. Messinio gets the first, but it does take a lot of bullets. Close with the 5-7. It's almost happening. The bomb, where is it? Where's the bomb? Techno getting the shot on MongolZ. Oh my god, he couldn't find it.
I couldn't find it either. I have no idea what happened there. That was so strange there for MongolZ, but what a performance there from the MongolZ. We knew that kind of result was kind of waiting around the corner in one of these rounds. They've all been so dangerous, but this is how it opened up. Sensu just putting the stop on, the stoppage, pure individual skill to do so. And then that trend continuing, 9-10 with an over-deliverance there. Oh my god. This is the problem when you're playing the MongolZ.
Yeah, they do shoot incredibly hard. I genuinely couldn't see where the bomb was, and I guess he couldn't either.
Same, yeah. It had disappeared into the earth beneath the cobblestones.
12-7. That was a thing that could happen at one point, if you remember.
Yeah.
Like the bomb falling through the map.
Yep. Yep.
Haven't seen that, so good job on Volvo for that one.
Yeah,
but
you kind of need the bomb to play around the Counter-Strike.
It's preferable.
It's important.
5-round gap. They need 5 in a row to get to 12. And they're going to be rushing down on the MongolZ. Look at this aggression. They really just want to push FURIA out of this one. Yakenda down early on. It's one of the weapons that's brought them back into this position to begin with. A boost on over. It's a nice idea, MongolZ. But can you see? Oh, he absolutely can. The top of Techno's head. That's a very nice flick. Back into the 4v4, but
that's such a big find. That's such a big find because the 4v4 versus the 5v4 is so different in the dynamics.
Yeah, but
look at the gamble here. The MongolZ, 3 players on B.
Yeah, Sensu getting the early one. They're walking right into this. They're going to get the shot, but 9-10, kind of out in the open. A bit scary if he misses the kill. The flash will come through. He's falling back into it and throws out an early incendiary. There is still another player behind him in Blitz. Flash on to try and set it up. He does get legged, but he's somehow still alive, or at least for a second. Yuri cracks it open. 2 kills. I don't know how they fought their way through. I actually think the MongolZ kind of maybe fumbled the ball a bit on this one.
I felt like they got out MongolZ'd in that round. I mean, the fact that also Yuri has the presence of mind to be so alert to look for the player backside, that feels like you're guaranteed one if you're in Blitz's position there, but that wasn't the case. And that it felt like the game, the series was about to be over. And that's what FURIA are playing up against here. Any mistake at this point, the series is gone. Obviously, we are in the Swiss system mode, so you are able to take some losses.
Yeah, I love it. Means there really are no flukes, no mistakes here. We're definitely going to get the teams that are performing the best, at least of the tournament for now. So I really enjoy it. Kind of a grueling matchup, but or a grueling format in that sense. You're going to be tested.
Yes, I totally agree. No frauds allowed.
No frauds. That's a good motto. It's
fraudulent behavior.
Second timeout now for the MongolZ. Getting a chance to talk things through. They just need 1 round, but I mean the economy could easily be the deciding difference here. Got a bit to work with right now, but obviously the longer it goes, the more sketchy it's going to get, and so sick.
Yeah, that equalizing kill from MongolZ was so huge, and at the same time, going into the 3-player site, just great confidence from FURIA to execute that 9-10 back on the AWP now.
I think they do that because of the mid push that was happening earlier on for the CT side, so they don't want to go back through the map and check every corner in case there's a CT hiding somewhere. So they just say, you know what, even if it's risky, let's just go for B because there's so much map left.
Totally agree. And you made that point before as well. It's the preference. It's a typical preference. I think you're absolutely right. It's a tricky smoke because you're not sure if the CTs are going to now recover that position. What some teams do is they will fake a pop flash to suggest that they've taken it, and then kind of convince the teams to move to the A side.
Smoke down. Right now, the Mongols are thinking, yes, please try and swing this into the short side. We're going to be ready. One of them is playing anti-flash. Obviously, you can throw Molotovs. There's no such thing as an anti-Molotov turn, so gonna have to move out of that one if it happens. 50 seconds left on the clock. The bomb's being brought back, and it's actually only 2 people here at the site. Oh, the timing could be awkward here. I hate it. It's 9-10, trying to throw grenades out in the open, but it's all gonna be fine. He's back out with the AWP, ready to go. 40 seconds. Another smoke in the middle on the A side, so trying to really sell it. Fallen only gets slightly lagged. He's still going to be fine with it here. They take down Techno. They know that 9-10 is somewhere in the back of the flashes. Doesn't even matter you get the headshot. Who cares? Even with Molodoi going down here, it should still be all right. The bomb getting planted, 20 seconds left, and a 3v3 in the afterplant now. The Mongols, in theory, saving is probably the better choice because you've got so much of a runway to try and get one more round, but it would be a stylish way to finish.
However, Yuri could be baited into a swing here. Timing is everything. Timing is everything. Goes down to Sensu. Now the retake is on. Fallen holding the angle. AWP is so good. Post plant. B site. Can he find another one? Another player back site. Fallen capitalizes trade up. Knows where the next player is. Both peeking at once. Fallen with a trio. In fact, a quad kill. Beautiful result there from FURIA. What a hold. And that sucks all the money away once again for the Mongols.
You know how Fallen is, a career AWPer in that sense, even if Molodoi is doing the AWPing now on this team?
Yeah.
When he takes that third shot, as he is reloading the weapon to get one more bullet in, he peeks. He gets information while he can't shoot. Like, look at this. He saw him on the first go-around while he's unable to shoot. Like, optimizing those moments as an AWP player is so critical because when you then repeat and you actually can shoot again, you already have more of an advantage than you would have otherwise. And obviously for Fallen, it's not a conscious thing. It's just that he's been doing this his whole life. So, Casino up there. Oh, hold on. Hold the phone. Blitz. He's won the battle somehow. 2 kills with the MP9. He's going to be picking up the AK. Oh, and if they hit that shot, FURIA. Out of all the rounds they could lose, I feel like this would be one of the more horrible ones. You end up losing the series because of one close-range MP9.
Yeah, and it's you highlighted this before as well. The apartments, super dangerous when MP9s are on the board, and then we haven't seen many apartments plays. And so it's very sad for FURIA to get punished here, but can they recover? Molodoi looking to try to help. There's the peaks coming. Molodoi equalizing 4v3 actually, I should say.
Woo.
Well,
Blitz.
3v3 now.
Yeah, he's picked it up. He's been absolutely sick in it. He's got 21 and 11. I think at one point he was 10-1 as a scoreline. He's been having a fabulous time on Inferno, and now it's 9-10. Rotate back into the graveyard position. It's hard to clear, but Fallen makes really quick work of it, and they'd rotated the AK away, trying to stay a step ahead, hoping that FURIA were going to make a quick choice, but they don't. They just march on forward into the A-bomb side, and now the bomb's planted here. And again, even if it's a bit more boring, I think you could make a legitimate choice here for Blitz to save the AK. It looks like they will try and do something, a boost on over, but winning this round now is super difficult. There's no kit in play. All right, he sees the top of his head just barely. There we go. The shot is in. Kazahstan now hunted in the corner. He can't escape. It's the shot coming through and straight on that defuse. What a way to retake it. Blitz with the quad kill at the end. Lands on 22 kills. And then they send FURIA packing here. It's going to be the early victory for them. Like you said, it is Swiss, but still a huge victory for the Mongols, taking their first series. And the panel is already good to go. Let's see what they say.
Yeah, made a meal of it.